Happy Wednesday. Hi. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you've had a really good week so far. Spoons are up this week. High spoons week. Finally, I feel like the last 2 weeks I've just been dragging. I'm proud of myself for maintaining stream though. For the most part, I think I only missed one, but we're getting there. We are getting there. So I hope everyone else is having a high spoons week. The productivity has been hitting this week. I got a deal that I'm really excited about. I can't talk about it yet because there's some big NDAs, but really excited about an opportunity coming up. So, well, actually, it's happening. So, exciting stuff. I'm excited to stream some more Nancy today. Today is like the perfect day for it too. Hold on. It's so dark. It's so gloomy outside. In fact, it's too gloomy. It's like a snow rain here right now. Like, it's white outside. It's starting to melt. This rain's kind of helping, but like April Fools to us, we really thought it was spring in April. What were you thinking? So yeah, we got like whiteout conditions yesterday. I walked to the gym in it, and I literally showed up looking like the abominable snowman. I wore Uggs. Not the best decision. Totally like soaked through by the time I got home. For the record, we only live like 4 blocks from our gym or something like that. In fact, where we live, I've been thinking about this. We have such a like prime location where we are. We are like within, I think like a half mile for like walkability. We have a very walkable town. I just feel like rural but bigger towns just have really great walkability. For anyone who's looking for like walkable town, it might not be the most ideal thing. It might not be a metropolis, but I love living in a smaller big town. And by like small big town, I mean we have a Walmart and stoplights. For those who may not know, I grew up with a town of like 800 people. I was like 600, I think, when I was growing up. No stoplights, like nothing. Oh, I will have to change that. I don't think it should be changed. Okay, that's weird. I want something cemetery themed because I think we're going to be heavy in the cemetery. Let's do creeping around the cemetery. And do I need to change part 3? We are on part 3. Legend of the Crystal Skull. But yeah, perfect day to play this game. It's been nothing but like rain, snow for the damned witches. That's foul. I know. Okay. Hopefully that fixed it. I think we're good now. Okay. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else? Nope. We should be set up there. Let me check on TikTok because that is just my wild child in terms of like multi-streaming. I never know what's going on over on TikTok. See if we can't pull you. Okay, live is up. Sorry if anyone's watching on TikTok and has been trying to like talk to me. I'm gonna see your messages in a second, I think. There. Okay, we're good. All right. So yeah, happy Wednesday, everyone. Do we have anything to talk about? Maybe a few things. Okay, in Zoe, I've been vibing with it a little bit. I know it's like the big release from like, oops, sorry, hold on. I think there we go. I had to mute TikTok real quick. It's been okay. Final thoughts on it. I'm trying to like it. I'm trying to get my $40 worth. I think it's going to be better at its actual release date. We'll see. But it's Sims. It's modded Sims. It's a prettier Sims. That's just kind of my final thoughts on it. I had a friend who was texting me. She's my cozy gaming friend. $40, I know. And like to think what Sims was $50, I think, when it came out for base game. And Sims, I think, uses their character creation and build mode as such a crutch, and I can spend hours in those screens. I love build mode. I love character creation, but it's just when I get to actual gameplay, I play for like 20 minutes and I'm like, now what? And I think a big part of this is, and I actually kind of want like people's opinions on this. AI use in video games in terms of dialogue. I don't know how to feel about it yet, but if you think about it in like, I think a big thing of what Sims is missing, I know we're talking about Inzoi. I'm talking about both of them because they're basically the same game, to be honest. Their base games are like so similar. I'm looking forward to a potential use of AI for dialogue generation just so I can have like a true back and forth with a character. I think there is like some AI use in video games or like just like a high level of programming that gets close to what AI kind of does. Red Dead would be an example of that. Just the way that you interact, the immersiveness of that world and the way you interact with characters and the way they react to things that you do is so needed in video games. I think Bethesda's lacking it. I think I've got big opinions today, guys. But yeah, $40 I think is steep. I do like some of the character interactions a little bit, but I think what I'm really missing from especially Sims is relationships are just so, dab dab, su. And that's cute. That's part of like the charm is the Simlish and stuff, but you just don't like it's really hard to like manage relationships. How am I trying to word this? Manage relationships? It's hard to feel anything for the relationships you make in Sims, it feels like. I think people do a really good job, and I think mods have like made that way more immersive and just giving you so many more possibilities. Sims would be nothing without the modding community. But I do just kind of feel like the world just feels so empty and like I'm so disconnected from what's happening, and that's what I really want in a life sim. Like I want to invest in the relationships I'm making in game. I think other cozy games have like gotten it down where they have like rich relationship development and rich dialogue, and you just don't get that in Sims. You don't get like any true dialogue in Sims. You get like the little notification bars, but I just feel like nothing really matters in terms of relationships. You can cheat on your spouse in Sims and then high five until they forgive you. And it's funny. It's part of the charm. But like in next gen life Sims, I am looking for so much more. I don't know how I feel about the AI use in video games. So valid. Sims is just messy as hell to make it. Yeah, you have to make it messy. And like I don't like being messy in Sims, but it is a result of my boredom. I'm start making things happen. My Sims always become a homewrecker and marry a rich person, and then I just make a beautiful house. And I don't want to play that way. I really want to start like a rags to riches playthrough that I can like commit to, but also feel like fulfilled playing. And that's what I felt in Zoe. Was I got through character creation, I customized my apartment a little bit with what money I had left, which I'm fine. Like I love starting like from, a limited amount of resources. Legacy challenges do help it make it interesting. This is like so nerdy of me. I'm not that big of a Taylor Swift fan. Something about the Eras tour really turned me on to her though. And just like how each era has its own aesthetic. I love a good theme. I love a good thing like that. I'm doing an Eras tour playthrough. So each like legacy character or like each generation is like a new era. And I just like really make it about, lover is bright and colorful and romance, and my character like was a bouquet artist and like made bouquets for weddings and stuff. And then the next one, I think I have a spin wheel that I use for each new person. It's going to be like the Evermore era, and so it's going to be like kind of like dark academia, winter, alchemy kind of witchy playthrough for that one. So I do love a good legacy. I've done like the Disney challenge before. Is there like a berry? There's something like a berry challenge too where like each one's a different color. I think Lil Simsy came up with it. Quote me or, don't quote me on that. But I'm doing a Barbie Legacy, Whimsy Story Legacy, and Not So Berry Legacy, and 100 Baby Challenge. Different saves so when I get bored. Exactly, you have to have the different saves. I have like one world that's just for like designing my ideal world where it's like any house that I come across. I have a TikTok I'm gonna make. I just put the idea on my Notion yesterday. It's like part of a trend that's like loading up my cozy games, heavily modded Sims to make a house I saw on Zillow the other day. Oh, ads, darn it. I will be quiet real quick. I wish it showed on here. I think it shows on my Twitch. creator back. Okay, awesome. I was reading your message for the I keep calling it Barbie Legacy. Whimsy. I want to know more about Whimsy Story Legacy because that sounds right up my alley too. So does Barbie. I think doing like a Barbie Dreamhouse world would be fun. I have a whatchamacallit. I have a world that's just like my dream world. So it's like every dream house I come across on like Zillow, things like that, I recreate or like I'll get like with the big mansions up in like Minneapolis, St. Paul area. There's a really cool street where it's all these Victorian houses. I recreated like almost to scale the exact house I saw on like a TikTok once. They did a full tour. That one was really fun. I'd love to show that off sometime. I put a lot of work into that. So I have like my dream world where it's just like, you know, all my favorite houses that I've come across, and then Barbie. Okay, so like what's the Whimsy Story is this, I need to maybe Google this if it's Googleable. Whimsy Story Legacy. There's something wrong with my words today. I just typed in Spims. Never really played Sims beside with my neighbor growing up, so I can't add anything to the convo. You're either like super into Sims or you like played it when you were younger and haven't really played it since. That's my husband, he played like Sims 2 growing up. He loved it, but it's such a sandbox. So if you're into like sandbox, you know, create things from scratch, especially if you want to get into like the modding is so much fun. The CC content is rich and there's plenty. The Barbie one, I only have screenshots of because the TikTok someone made of it got deleted. No. But Whimsy Story is a good one that was made by a creator. Okay, I'm looking at it on Tumblr. We need to bring back Tumblr, don't we? Which, is TikTok getting banned in 3 days? I don't think so. I was looking it up yesterday. In the United States, at least. I'm sorry, I know this doesn't apply to you, Anya, but I haven't seen anyone talking about it like the January 19th one. I doubt it's going to get banned. I still don't love what the 19th banning really felt like. It just felt super political and is what it is. Happy to have TikTok back. I'll take what I can get, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's that date? Saturday? We'll see what happens Saturday. Speaking of Saturday, I'm so excited about this. Isn't this like the 5th time it's getting banned? In the last, yeah. We're just kicking the can down the street until they find like what they want someone to buy 50% that's United States based. And right now the big contenders are Oracle, which is a software company, I believe, and Blackstone, which is just, they own like everything. They're a big investment company. We'll see. I'm just really sad to think about what's going to happen to the American TikTok if we do get an American seller. Is it going to change things? Da-da-da. Luckily, like, I feel like I don't create any problematic comment. I'm just sharing opinions about video games, so I don't know how censored I will be if that becomes a thing, but we'll see. It's up in the air, but likely won't be, and Amazon just put a huge bid in for it. That's new. I have not heard that yet, so we'll see. Just leave TikTok alone. Anyone remember like the Leave Britney Alone, which we should have done? Dark times we live in. I'm just looking at chat, making sure I'm caught up with everything. What else? Okay, I'm looking at the Whimsy Story Challenge right now. Do you ever feel like stories don't come naturally to you? That you find yourself repeating the same old thing over and over and over? That you want to be the type of simmer who becomes invested in their Sims' lives in a borderline unhealthy way? This is the challenge for you. Okay, I need to bookmark this immediately. And if you don't have a Sims bookmark folder on your browser and you're a simmer, you need to get one. That's where I keep all my CC and my mods so I can easily update them. I can revisit like my favorite challenges over and over again. I have my like little spinner wheel on there for when I do legacy challenges. I haven't downloaded it since I deleted it in January. TikTok? Oh my gosh. Good for you. And there was a period too where like if you like had like the auto updates installed, or if you like accidentally like removed it from your phone, you could not download again because it was not in the App Store or like, you know, the Play Store or whatever it's called. So like I said, interesting times. Yeah, I'm bookmarking this because let's look at it actually. Do I have any? Close out of there, close out of there. I just want to make sure my like email tabs aren't open and stuff. Okay. So looking at this important ad, getting Dare vibes over here. It's even the yellow color of, I think was Dare yellow or was it orange? One of them was yellow. Anyways, this is the whimsy challenge that Rachel was talking about. Okay. Find yourself falling in love with complex and beautiful Sims in the whimsy story. This is what I need and that's what I don't love about Sims and now Inzoi a little bit. I think Inzoi is better just because like the time speed is, you can control it without mods and stuff like that. But I just need that immersive like life experience in a life simulator. You'd think that would be the paramount thing that they'd include, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, and I am a beggar. I remember so many people deleted it back then, but was scared of missing jewels, so I became a Robin Hood in one server and downloaded a bunch of crafty kit. You are a hero, Anya. You are the glue that holds this world together. I remember the night it happened. I was shopping for a dress for my friend's wedding that we were going to at the end of January. Little last minute, but it's fine. It was that Saturday night, I think, because it was supposed to get banned on Sunday. And so I'd planned, I was like, I'm going to spend until like 10 o'clock or something shopping for my dress. And once I get that figured out, I'm going to like sleep on it. I always love sleeping on a purchase. You know, you wake up and you change your mind sometimes. And like once I like figured out what I thought I wanted, I, you know, went over to TikTok and it was banned. Like it got banned like the second I went on, and I felt so, because I was just going to spend the next 2 hours of my night until midnight just rotting on TikTok for a while. I love a good TikTok rot. I love it. And I couldn't. I was so upset. I was so bored. I spent a lot of time on Red Note that night. I tried out Instagram Reels, which I don't mind. I know everyone's like shitting on Instagram Reels, but if you have like a pretty curated, like on my Chickwood account on Instagram, I follow other cozy gamers. I follow like just cozy lifestyle people. And so my feed is just that. It's actually quite pleasant, but you don't get like the good variety that you get on TikTok. Like I like getting my news. I like getting people bitching about stuff. I like getting a cozy gamer, you know, every few scrolls. I like getting some animal humor, things like that. Especially animal humor. My mother-in-law follows me on TikTok now. And we send each other videos all the time, and I love it actually. My father-in-law follows me on there too. It's fine. European privilege is real. It is, and you need to enjoy it for us poor Americans right now. It's the world in general, it really is, but man, it's been a bleak year so far. Reels are cursed for real. I haven't gotten any, like, I'm sure if I went on my personal account that's just following, you know, random people from high school and college and, like, family members, I'm sure that reel is pretty cursed, because I'm sure I just get, like, who I'm friends with, that stuff probably filters to me, and they're like, are you interested in this since you follow this person? And it's, like, someone getting beheaded or something. I don't know. Censored, sorry. But, yeah, no, Instagram Reels, that algorithm's not quite it. I will say, when I'm on Facebook, which I love Facebook for my groups that I'm in, yeah, I'm part of, like, the Sewer for Twilight shit posting and Twilight shit posting. I love Twilight shit posting. I'm part of, like, the Nancy groups. I'm part of some Sims groups. I really do like, and, like, book groups and stuff like that. So I really do like my groups on Facebook. What was I going to say? Oh, but they always, like, feed me, like, really relevant content that I'm thinking about, and it weirds me out. It's, like, somehow super religious to ABO. What's ABO? Oh, okay. So it goes from super religious to ABO to pets. Yeah. No, it's really just, like, throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, I think, on Instagram Reels. They're just like, oh, do you like this person getting beat to a pulp? Oh, you didn't like that? Well, how about this goat jumping off a hay bale? Like, I'm like, I don't mind the goat, but, like, why are you showing me actual violence on here? I just watch HBO if I wanted that. Okay. We need to focus. I need to focus. Let's see. Anything over on TikTok? I don't think so. Can I? Let's do manage stream. Can I do an ad roll right now real quick? And then we'll get started with the game. I'll get loaded into the game in the meantime. Should we do a 1-minute ad break? I fear Instagram. I don't spend a lot of time on there. I really just spend time on like my main For You page, whatever, on Instagram. But before we do the ad roll, I do really enjoy Instagram for the community aspect. I feel like I don't have that on TikTok. TikTok just feels like a big world and we're all shouting into it, and sometimes like we make eye contact with other people and we say something to other people, but then someone else starts shouting and like, you know, it just feels like we're all standing in a big circle and shouting for attention on TikTok to me. Where Instagram feels like, at least my homepage is just this nice, cozy, like curation of people I genuinely like interacting with. I want to like, you know, cheer them on and support them and like comment on their stuff and have conversations. I really like, and especially like finding the Nancy Drew Clue Crew on Instagram too. It's so rich in community for Instagram. I do really like it for that. Otherwise, I'm not a big Instagram person anymore ever since they really messed up the homepage. There is, if you are sick of seeing like suggested accounts on Instagram, which I don't always mind, but it like sometimes I'm like, this isn't what I'm looking for. I really just want to see posts from people I follow and see what they're up to. If you do like the 3 dots on like a suggested for you post, you can click something like hide these for 30 days and you at least get a month off from it. Yes, Instagram feels more family because of the Clue Crew and like the cozy gaming community over there. It's really good if you're in the cozy space. I don't remember if I told you this because I've been on autopilot for the last month. You've been busy, Anya. But I asked my current fave fanfic writer for permission to print out her fics to put in a ring binder, and she said yes, and it was so sweet. Bible thump, Bible thump. That is so fun. Interactions like that are the best. That's really exciting. Us in our binders of fanfic. I tagged Anya in a similar one where someone's like, it's not pretty, but it's, you know, what I have, and it's just like a 3-ring binder of like printer paper, 3-hole punched for a fan fiction. Do what you gotta do, you know? On a few streams ago or something, we were talking about like bookbinding and stuff and how we'd totally get into that. It's an expensive hobby, but I would totally be into it. I could see myself doing it eventually. Especially just to have like a really curated bookshelf. I'm a terrible person. Sometimes I hate what book covers look like, and I wish I could just like redesign them so that it matched my other books. Is that a bad thing? I like variety. I like what a good variety shelf looks like, but sometimes I'm like, the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, I hate the colors of those books. They picked like the brightest freaking colors ever, and I like color. I'm getting better about liking color, actually. Like, I'm trying to. But those are like just the ugliest colors. Bring back fanfic ring binders. We need to bring that over to Tumblr. You guys, we need to get on Tumblr. Maybe someday. One other cool piece of news. So we talked about Enzoy a little bit. Conclusion on that before we move on. I would save your money for now if you're thinking about it. If you don't currently play Life Sim, like Anya, you might like Enzoy. Oh, the other thing. This is my new light I got. I'm thinking about using it because it's so dark in here right now. Actually, it just got a lot brighter. Another thing about Enzoy, someone brought this up in my comments, and I actually had like a whole section of my video where I was gonna talk about it, and then my video got so long. It's super beefy. Like, you need a really, really beefy PC to be able to run it like at a normal quality. I have a ROG Zephyrus laptop that's like 5 years old now. It's probably on its way out, unfortunately. I hope not, but we'll see. Yeah, my computer can barely run it on like the lowest settings. So do with that what you will. It's super beefy. It's a pretty basic Life Sim. Okay. Now with that, I do want to try this light real quick. Oh my gosh, it's so bright. I need to get this to a brightness that it's not going to blind me. And to do that, I do have to like stare into it. So let's see. That is a little better. Okay, that actually kind of looks nice. I think I'm going to keep that. Okay. I might get into making paperbacks rather than hardcovers. They do seem easier. I've watched like both videos for like hardcover looks like nice, but no, I agree that would be where I would start too, is paperbacks. Also, ignore my postpartum hair regrowth. I was like, I was telling my husband, look at this. Like, I went bald right here after giving birth. I did not give birth. I had a C-section, but, you know, same difference. Anyways, you lose your hair like 4 months after you have a baby, it turns out, and then it regrows into, like, I just need to style them straight up and be like a bug. But I was like, hey, Tanner, my husband, should I, like, gel these so that they, like, go into my eyebrows? Or get bangs? I'm not getting bangs. That would be a very impulsive decision. Anyways, there was something else I was going to talk about real quick before we jumped into the game. What was it? Oh, do you guys follow Libby Lou at all? She's another Nancy Drew streamer. She does like we talked about her before. She does like the really cute like makeup looks. She has Nancy Drew. Yeah, she's so awesome. She has Nancy Drew merch, and she just dropped a new, let's see if I think the website is Cozy Gamer Emporium. And she reminds me a lot of like when TT Inventory was doing like the Cozy Gamer merchandise stuff. I think she's since like shifted to like Cozy Gamer like boxes, like mystery boxes, and like uses like other small businesses like and their products and stuff in them. So I don't think she does like the merch anymore. But Cozy Gamer Emporium, let's look at this. Okay. She has like a whole bunch of different like products, different like games that her stuff's inspired by. She has a great Nancy Drew collection. I think I got this one. I got this one in what color? I want to say like this color. So I got this sweatshirt, the It's Locked one for stream. And then I also got, I know, like her stuff is so cute. She has a senior detective and a junior detective sweatshirt. And like the senior detective one says, I'm a detective and a genius. I think it's a quote. Is that a quote from her stream? I maybe missed the quote when I've been watching, but, and then the other one is, I love this one. It's so cute. I'm a detective, not a genius is what it says on the back. Is there a shot of the back? Or is this one just the junior detective one? Okay, maybe it's not. But anyways, I think I got this one in pink. Where's the pink? Yep, I got this sweatshirt coming. So very excited about that. Highly recommend checking her out if you have not like looked at her merch and stuff and you're looking for like some fun Nancy wear. Yep, her new sweatshirt. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, I literally just like stopped where I was, clicked the link in profile and just went out and got myself a couple cute little things. So, all right, that was like the last thing I wanted to talk about before we get into, okay, are ads going right now? I think ads are going. Ads just finished. Okay, thank you. All right, let's get into it then. Yeah, I was just basically summing up what I was talking about for Libby Lou's, the Cozy Gamer Emporium page. Check her out if you're looking for like, I missed your whole talk of Libby Lou. Oh, I was just like going through her page. I wish I got like a notification when an ad was rolling, but I was just going through her website. It's Cozy Gamer Emporium. Let me see if I can put it. Is it .com? Let me double check that. Yep, .com. Okay, I'll put that in chatty yaddy yaddy. That work? Okay, good. All right. I think links are allowed in my thing. My next goal for stream is to do streamer. Yeah. That's exactly what I was just going to say, Anya, is I need to look into the bots that can notify me of that, and I need to look into commands. So, in fact, I'm going to write that down because that is a goal of mine. Okay, so for next stream... Oh! My other thing I was going to say before we started. I have a full day to myself on Saturday. I mean, there's been, like, moments I've been in the house. I think the first time I was in the house alone by myself, like, after having a baby, like, your baby's always with you, obviously. Like, you know, that makes sense. But, like, I am, like, someone who so thrives in solitude. Like, obviously love my husband. And we're both, like, kind of reclusive people. We're, like, you know, we can both, like, go down. He goes down to his gaming basement, and I go up to my gaming room, and we just, like, you know, we're little recluses. But I remember, like, the first time I was in the house and, like, I think he took my daughter for a walk or something. I think I cried because I was like, oh my gosh, I've been, like, by myself in this house for, like, 8 months or something. And it was both, like, a, you know, it was a good cry and a sad cry, but it's just part of that transition to parenthood. But, so I have, like, and we've had, like, sleepovers. Our parents are both wonderful grandparents. They love having her over for, like, weekend sleepovers and stuff. So, you know, there's been times where, like, him and I get to, like, you know, just hang out one-on-one and do what we want and, you know, not have parental responsibilities 100% of the time. And it's nice to just have those little breaks, but I miss her so much. But Saturday, so I'm bringing her home for a sleepover. Our home is, like, where our parents live. And my husband's going to Sioux Falls. Rachel, you'll know Sioux Falls, on Saturday. And I get to be home alone, like, all day. And I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm, like, really trying to ask myself, like, do I, like, go out and do something? Do I go, like, you know, shopping or something? Do I go thrifting? Do I, like, you know, put on a cute outfit and go get a coffee and, like, be one of those girls for a day? Or do I just, like, stay at home and do whatever the F I want all day? I think I'm going to try and do, like, a mix of the two. But, yeah, yep, I know. Sioux Falls is, like, there's, like, two places where I grew up you went. And Sioux Falls was, like, if you had to go, like, a big shopping, like, back-to-school shopping trip, it was, like, Sioux Falls was one of them. And then there's, like, another one south of the cities in Minnesota where we go. But, yeah. You're going to stream for 8 hours. I thought about that too. I'm like, I could just, like, stream as long as I wanted. We don't have to play, like, a Nancy Drew game. We can try a new game if we wanted. We'll see. I need to, like, figure out what I'm going to do. Only correct answer. So yeah, I have, like, the full day to myself. I was even like, should I, like, invite a friend over or something? Do I even want to, like, spend the day with another person? I think we can update the list and resume. That's a good idea, actually. Sioux Falls, so Sioux City or Omaha. I love Omaha. I love downtown Omaha, actually. I think that's such a, like, overlooked city. It's so cute. I have cousins who live out there. I love Omaha. They have, like, the cutest walkable park, like, right downtown with a bunch of cool statues and stuff. My husband and I are always like, if we ever, like, needed, like, a good weekend getaway without, like, going that far, we would just drive, like, 4 hours to Omaha. That's not a bad idea, though. No, I did tell Tanner, too, my husband, I'm like, I might just, like, stream I don't get, like, just huge periods to go stream when I want anymore, so the possibilities are endless for Saturday, and I'm so excited. I was like once a year, one of us needs, like, we just need to, like, prioritize this for ourselves, a good, like, alone day for someone. So... Again, that's totally my personality type. I'm such a recluse, and, like, we all really are in this family. Actually, no, our daughter is super social. She loves people. She's the person that gets us out of our comfort zones, and it's fantastic. That's always our weekend trip place. Always have to stop at the candy store. I have not been to I've heard about it. My great aunt who lived there always talked about the candy store. I went to a wedding there that took place in, what is it called? It was the super cool train station that turned into a museum. Craziest wedding I've ever been to. Train station museum, Omaha. The Durham Museum. Like, could you imagine having your reception here? beautiful. There's like a whole like train in the basement. They opened up the museum to us so we could go like tour the whole museum. Hopefully nothing bad shows on here. Look at this. This is where, and it was like in the winter too, so there was like Christmas trees everywhere. This was where we had the wedding reception. And like the wedding itself, I think, was like at the Creighton Cathedral. I think that's right. It was definitely like the ritziest wedding I've ever been to. Okay, let's get into the game. Especially since that ad break rolled, I do want to jump on it. One of my friends, his school did their prom at the Chicago Field Museum, and I was like, bro, you got to party with Sue the T-Rex. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, Rachel and I could talk about Omaha for like 15 more minutes, but we'll get to the game. All right, are we good? The thing with this little program that I found that forces Nancy into windowed mode is, there we go. It doesn't save my settings, so I have to like redo all the inputs every single time, and it only takes like 5 minutes of my day, but I always have to make sure to come up here in the morning before stream to, not this. Oh, I seriously do quote Half Moon Joe on such a regular basis. Okay. Where did we left off in not Edith. Where did I just put my marker? Hold on, guys. I'm losing my brain over here. Actually, though, where did I just put my marker? Well, guess I'm not writing the rest of my list. I'll find it later. Okay, so I need... These Post-its are the only kind of Post-its that, like, you have to, like, write on it with a Sharpie. It was in my lap. We're good. Okay, so I need bots for at least ad breaks. And I need commands, I think. And I need to get started on a Discord. That is still, don't worry, I think about it all the time. My issue with that, I've had to have an honest conversation with myself, is again, with like the reclusive personality type, there are like periods of time, like 7 to 10 days at a time, where sometimes I just like don't want to talk to anyone at all. So if we have a Discord, there just might be periods where like I kind of ghost y'all in there, and that's like the number one thing that keeps me from starting a Discord, is I feel bad for that. Like, I want to foster a community and, like, you know, interact and stuff like that, but there's some, like, I just took a nice social media break a couple of weeks ago, I think, and that was so nice and necessary, and, like, my time was being taken up by a lot of, like, IRL things and whatnot, so that's, like, my only thing is, like, if we do a Discord, there's just gonna be natural periods of time where I, like, step back a little bit, and I'm not, like, ignoring you guys, I'm just disconnecting. I need to do that. Girl, I want to have space to yap, chop. Exactly. And, like, that's the other thing where I'm like, but obviously all, like, the fun parts of having a Discord and sharing things in there and stuff, like, that's what I like about Discord, is it feels like a private social media where you don't have to, like, it's not like a one-on-one conversation where you have to, like, react right away. You can, like, you know, kind of drop in as you want, interact as you want. So, nope, I do need to do that. I think my goal is to have that up and running by, like, the end of May for sure, but like early May, I hope. What is it, beginning of April? We can maybe bang it out by the end of April. Just like the ripeness for memes in there is there's so much potential. I need to grab my notebook. Okay, so we wrote down the voodoo signs on the wall last week, and this is where we kind of left off. Also, is my mic sounding okay? Is the game okay and whatnot? And now we have to decipher those symbols. Here's the symbols for those who are curious for my notes. Okay, so we first have the triangle. We have Ba. I remember playing this game. I did play this game when I was like probably an adult, I think, but like a young adult. And I remember like getting this part, I was like, ooh, should I be like writing this stuff down? Ooh. No, it's fine. Nothing bad's happened. Just watch like Nancy Drew like low-key put a curse on all of us. Doesn't this end up being like a protection one? Okay, this is our next one, Za. And we have like a circle. Okay, we might have to puzzle these together. We have like a circle with a V in it and a dot next to it. Spectral alphabet is comprised of 28 symbols and is based on 4 basic vowel sounds. Okay, so it's definitely going to be like an ooh. Oh, this one, it's... What is this? Lou? Okay. Lou. Speaking of Lucy. I got my daughter to start saying that too. That's our call for our cat. And if we sing her name like that, typically she comes. Like 80% of the time she comes. I taught my daughter, and so she goes, whooshy. It's so cute. Actually, it's more like a woozy. She says Lucy. Let me know if you need help with Discord, if you struggle with finding time for it. I will. And like if anyone like wants to be like a mod in there too and stuff, I feel like that's just a good idea to have. If it's something that anyone can access from my like links in my profile and stuff, obviously we need to have a level of moderation in there, but I will totally let you know because that would be really nice to have like a few people that want to, you know, help out with it. Oops, sorry, hold on. I'm just dragging my screen over. Okay. So we have a triangle with a circle. We have pa. We have a square and a square. It wasn't a colored in square, but I do think D is what it was. D, and then we have like this me. And we have a beautiful triangle with like a loop-de-loo and a couple of dots is ka. Got it. So ba, za, lu, pa, di, mi, ka. And I don't think we have to do anything with that yet. So is that, we did that. That's kind of how we ended. I almost do need to close my curtains for this. Can we eat any more yet, now that we loaded back in?
If I eat any more of these,
Nancy's still full.
Be real sorry.
Doing the her interactive hotspot search. Oh, that's good. Seeing if there's anything else possibly in here that we need to mess with. Renee. Renee. That's her name. Okay, can't do anything else there yet. And I think that's everything. I have way too much free time now since I had my last day with my 5th graders on Friday last week, and I'll miss them. Oh, one of the students were so devastated by the fact I wasn't going to be there forever, and they gave me 3 hugs before allowing themselves to go home for the day. 5th graders are the sweetest. I'm so happy you had such a good experience with them, because I so truly miss like that age group is so golden. I'm happy you had such a good experience, but you do miss them, and you will think about them for years to come. The gym I go to now is actually frequented by like quite a few of my former students, which mixed emotions on, but it is nice seeing them every once in a while. They're just the sweetest kids. I love being able to be an adult that like, you know, encourages that sweetness in them and that they just get to like, you know, oh, it's just the best. I do miss teaching. I don't necessarily miss, you know, what comes with teaching. I've lamented about that time and time before, but
Can't check that off
to
yet.
the task list. Okay, take a really good look. Still haven't finished that, and I just think we have to like unlock something in here first to be able to do that, because I think we've looked at everything there is to look at. Figure out what's up with those fake books in the library. Not there yet. Figure out the significance of that tracing I found in the room where I saw Skeleton Man.
I haven't done that.
Kind of found it out, but I do think, do we have everything we need for that puzzle now? I think we do. Find the combination to to the lock that's on the crypt in the scale model. Haven't done that yet. Explore the cemetery next door. Look for clues.
All done.
Okay, so we have done that. Explore every inch of the garden, even though it is pretty darn
Can't check that
creepy.
off yet.
I feel like we kind of did, but there's just probably... I feel like sometimes these task lists have to do with, like, unlocking a certain thing first and, like, finding the secret of that locked thing, and then it lets you check it off. I feel like it should just be, like, taking a real good look around and, like, understanding the puzzles that are there. But I don't design the games. Look for anything that might help me find out what happened to the skull that used to be in the box best found in the curio shop. Not there yet. Get some paper.
Check.
Look around for...
Still have to do that.
Where do we find the chalk to make rubbings? I don't know. Okay.
Can't
Find the
check
key to
that
the
off yet.
crypt. And gulp. See what's in it. Get a Cocoa Crinkle
Can't
bar
check
from
that
Renee's
off
room.
yet.
How do we keep it? We
Still
just
have to
ate
do
them
that.
all. And now I can't pick
Did
them up
that.
anymore. Did I bug the
I
game?
haven't done that. Did that.
It's not actually chalk. Oh, I think I remember what it is. I think I know. I think I might be looking
Check.
at it. Oh, sorry, not voodoo. Hoodoo. Symbol. Okay.
I haven't done that. I haven't done that.
Oh, gosh. What do we do if we, like, just... We can't pick up the things anymore? There we go. Thank you for the hint.
Check.
Yep, hence the, or something like chalk. She grabbed one before she started eating. Okay, so we just need to give it to her. There we go. Thank you. I panicked for a second. I totally forgot we pocketed one of those. Okay. I need to do a whole Sims playthrough that's just Nancy Drew places, because I need to, like, reimagine this place as, like, a true mansion. Do not love that it's such a limited setting. I mean, I get it, but... Oh, this looks like a book puzzle waiting to happen.
What was that?
That was Uncle Bruno's pet iguana, Iggy. He's always in here stealing paper. We must be using it to build a nest or something.
I shouldn't
Look,
have clicked here
I had all
yet.
the books arranged so they fit perfectly in that box. Put them back in, okay? I don't.
Valid, though, Henry, because...
I just want to look through this one book.
Go right ahead. After you put all those other books
It's
back.
so hard to see, especially kind of with this light. I might... Okay, if I take off the light, is it... It's pretty dark. Hold on. I'll deal with it. Henry, shush. Started making Sunny... Wait. She grabbed one... Oh, wait. I started making Sunny June for fun on Sims. He would be a fun Sim, especially with, like, the alien spaceship stuff you can do in Sims. I've never actually done that, but that would be a fun reason to do that playthrough. Okay. Is anyone else getting some DDI vibes? Which is such a trial and error. Okay, so I usually go by, like, book heights. Do I have to rotate them myself? No? Okay, so these can go here. I think you are a good candidate for there. We can probably do a couple of... Nope. Okay. There's probably... Okay, that one fits there. Is this the same? Nope. It's not, but... Okay, that fits there. That fits there. This isn't so bad. I just feel like the one in Deception Island feels so hopeless until you finally, like, somehow get them all to fix together. I feel like there's, like, 7 ways to solve that puzzle. Probably more. Okay, that can go there, and this one goes... I don't love this, though. Actually, no, I do. I do love this. Look at... The Crystal Skull. Facts or fable? by the one and only Hotchkiss. I would love to be Professor Hotchkiss. Obviously, putting that number on speed dial. Whose stream was I watching the other day? I think it was like when we rated the other day. I think when we rated, she like said something about like, who is that one annoying professor or something, and I was like, wait, Hotchkiss. She is annoying though. No, she ruffles feathers for sure. So I totally understood, but it just, I feel like she's such a darling of the community that it like took me by surprise at first. 3, 4, 2, 7. And I also just kind of feel like Hotchkiss is an aged up Nancy a little bit too. Okay, one of the most ancient and widespread legends known to humankind can be summed up thusly. Scattered over the earth are 13 humanoid skulls carved out of pure crystal. At some point in the future, fate will bring the 13 crystal skulls together, and they will speak, imparting wisdom that will save the human race from annihilation and usher in a golden era of peace and enlightenment. That's like, let's do this, guys. We need this. There are several versions of this legend. In one, the skulls are created by Mayans, Incans, or Aztecs and collectively form a repository of information detailing how and why humans came to be. Another legend credits their creation to the extraterrestrials who seeded the earth with the human race and left the skulls behind to explain their actions at some point in the future. Yet another contends the skulls are ancient in origin, but more important, that each skull is somehow magical in and of itself. The distinctive gifts they offer their owners reputedly include precognition, clairvoyance, telekinesis, and of course, immortality. Some variations combine all of the above. What is both indisputable and intriguing about the general legend and its smaller, colorful variations is that several mysterious crystal skulls have indeed been discovered in the past millennium, turning up in all corners of the earth. What follows is an examination of everything that is currently known about these skulls in hopes of separating the facts of their existence from the fantasies of human imagination. Ooh, the Whisperer was the first documented reference to the crystal skull known as the Whisperer came in 1532, shortly after Hernando de Soto helped Francisco Pizarro ambush and capture the Incan emperor. I get scared to pronounce things sometimes. Atahualpa at the Battle of Cajamarca. De Soto's aide-de-camp, while updating the De Soto's expedition records, noted that during Atahualpa's subsequent imprisonment, De Soto befriended the Incan ruler. In time, Atahualpa told De Soto a secret. He possessed an exquisitely detailed life-size human skull that the ancient ones had carved out of pure, clear crystal. He happened upon it at the hut of a deceased high priest whose astonishingly advanced age had caused his fellow priests, out of fear and jealousy, to slip him a fatal dose of poison. He took a fancy to the skull and kept it, and soon realized, do we want to read this whole thing? I'm totally open to, how many pages is this? Oof. Okay, let's just do a little glancing. Okay. I'll summarize it for you and do a speed read here. Okay, no match for the treachery. Indeed, next documented reference. I think it just keeps going over all the different, yeah. The Whispering Crystal Skull, wonder of the ancient Incan world. Inquire inside. If I was alive during the 1880s, I would totally be like one of these traveling, like, snake salesmen. I totally would have been. Come look at this cool rock I found on the side of the road. Yeah, I'm not reading the whole thing. Sorry, guys. We can. If you guys want to, I'm totally into it. I just want to make sure it's something you guys are interested in hearing. I'm bad at reading some Nancy Drew books sometimes, even though you learn a lot from them. It's just... Same in, like, in Skyrim. I so badly want to be able to, like, read all of the books and learn all of the lore. But I don't want to do the work to do it. It's fine. Okay, so we picked this up. Which... 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. just going to make this little drawing real quick so I have it. TBFM. And we have 2, 3, 4, 5. LHAPN? U. U? LHAP. And I'm just going to do an N and a U because it looks like it could be E. It looks like a backwards N or like, I think it's a U. I think I'm going with U. Okay. Nancy just casually pocketing things that she finds as Henry's trying to itemize the estate for sale.
Yes?
How did Bruno die, if you don't mind my asking?
Just dropped dead in the front hallway. I mean, the guy was 95 years old. Here, check it out. Myocardial infarction. That's doctor speak for heart attack.
Attending physician, Dr. Gilbert Buford, 504-555-9970. Was that Bruno's doctor?
Not the Krollmeister
And his best
crematorium.
friend, or so I'm told. I've never met him.
Speaking of having a monopoly on
Interesting
something,
keychain.
Krollmeister
That's
must
one
be
of
stopped.
Uncle Bruno's glass eyes. It's the one he was wearing when he died.
How nice.
Anything else?
Can I
I'm going
keep
to
that?
keep looking around.
Awesome.
What were they thinking when they made Henry? Like, good things, obviously. But I just remember the jump scare when he first turned around in that chair and gave me that sassy guyliner gaze. Being like, wow, they really sent it for this character. When did I first play this game? It had to have been like... Ooh, hold on. Oh, this is... I don't think I like this puzzle. I remember this puzzle, and I just don't think I like it. But, so, we're not there yet, though, so we're not going to focus on it. Let's go bother Renee, bring her her candy
You bring me
bar.
that Cocoa Kringle bar like I asked?
Of course I did.
Right here.
Bless you. I'm so hungry I could devour these plants I'm potting up, dirt and all. How else may I be of service to you?
Did Dr. Bolet ever say anything to you about a crystal skull? He may have referred to it as the Whisperer.
No, he never so much as mentioned a crystal skull, whispering or otherwise.
Anyone ever played L.A. Noire? And a big part of that game, a big function, so you are like a 1940s detective. Very fun game. It's a Rockstar game, so it's going to be good. I just think Rockstar games are some of like the top tier video games ever, especially for like a AAA game. But in L.A. Noire, you are a 1940s detective. Like, you're like doing homicides and stuff like that. But one of the big gameplay features is when you're talking to suspects, you're supposed to like look at their mannerisms to see if they're telling the truth or not. It's actually really hard in gameplay, and I think it's a little finicky for like the time period that game was made in, or like, what is that game, like 10 years, 15 years old or something. So it's not perfect, but it is an interesting gameplay mechanic. And I always like, whenever I'm playing a video game and I just get a feeling someone's lying, I get that little like doubt. There's like a little sound it plays when you like doubt someone. Doo-doo. It's something like that. And so I always hear that when I like start doubting someone. Sorry, my cousin's group chat is going crazy right now. I'm missing a lot of talk over there.
Were you in the house when Dr. Bolet passed away?
I was indeed. I was in the library cleaning when all of a sudden I heard a big thump.
So you were at the
I
scene of the
hurried out to
crime.
investigate, and
Interesting.
sure enough, there was Dr. Bolet lying by the front door. And as I rushed over to him, the door opened and in walked Gilbert Buford. He took one look at Dr. Bolet and hollered at me to call 911.
No one was in the
I ran
house at the
back
time
into
to
the library
corroborate your
and did
story,
just
huh?
that. When I came back out, Gilbert was leaning over Dr. Bolet, listening for breathing, I suppose. And then he started pushing up and down on his chest, but it was too late. Even I could tell that Dr. Bolet was gone.
What was he doing by the front door?
I assume he saw Gilbert coming and was going to open the door for him. Not that there was any need. As you yourself discovered, people around here seldom lock their front doors during the day. But you know, in the back of my mind, I have always wondered about Gilbert Buford showing up at the door at that exact moment.
I understand that Dr. Bolet had some interesting pets, like an iguana.
That man never met a creature he didn't like. He'd train them to do all kinds of silly tricks, then let them run free, inside the house as well as out.
Do you know how he went about training them?
I surely do not. Don't get me wrong. I liked Dr. Bolet, I truly did. But I swear, sometimes his activities made as much sense to me as bathing in a bayou full of gators.
Oh, it would be unfortunate for someone to meet that demise, wouldn't it?
Whose boat is tied up down there where the bayou comes up to the cemetery? Do you know?
That would be my boat. Comes in very handy when I need to forage for certain swamp-dwelling plants.
Those weird symbols on the wall in your room, do you know who painted them?
I did. Fact of the matter is, there's a spirit living in that wall.
A spirit?
Got a voice that'd send shivers down the spine of Dracula himself. Used to hear it sometimes, in the dead of night, half talking, half whispering, saying this one word I never heard before, like it was from a language no one on earth spoke. And suddenly, I knew. The spirit was trying to cast a spell on me. So I got me a book and found out that by painting the word I heard on the wall, syllable by syllable, in hoodoo signs, I could counteract the word's power. And you know what? The spirit has not spoken that word or any other since.
What was the word?
Darling, a sack full of water moccasins couldn't get me to say that word out loud. Nor will I write it down. No, sir. Not ever, ever, ever.
Low-key, if there's a character you had to be a Nancy Drew, who is it gonna be? Because, like, mine might low-key be Renee. Mine's, like, Renee or, Mary Yazzie. Being, like, a little, like, witchy swamp woman who just, like, gathers resources, cleans a mansion, and best 100%. Rachel, that was such a fast answer. Is this religious psychosis? Like, and just, like, hearing, like, voices speaking to me from the walls, low-key wouldn't mind being Renee. Her life sounds interesting. I would, like, Renee, interesting life, but, you know, kind of cozy in a way. Mary Yazzie, just, like, cute little shop and, you know, selling your little trinkets and, like, jewelry that you make and stuff. That would be another fun one. Who's another fun character? Samantha Quick. I mean, there's some real good options. Oh, speaking of, my shipment from Cozy Gamer Emporium is on its way as we speak, so that's exciting. If it gets here by next week, I'm totally wearing, you're gonna see me in nothing but those sweatshirts for, like, the next, like, 8 streams. High-key Elliot, because I'm also a bitter artist. Yes. No, actually, like, I relate to Elliot on, like, too many channels. Bro's so ADHD. He totally is. I get it. Oh, gosh. Who else is there? Also, I think we need to be talking again about our next Nancy game, because we're maybe not quite halfway through this one. I don't think we're halfway through. I said that about Shadow Ranch, though, too, and, like, next thing I know, it was over. High-key Elliot. I kind of have a craving to play Alibi and Ashes is still on my list. That's still, like, that's just such a good summer game with the ice cream shop. I adore that game. It's such a good Nancy game. Kind of getting the craving for, I don't know, have I told you guys who my biggest Nancy Drew crush is? I think I have. You'd think it's Dave. He's like, yeah, we've definitely talked about this before. I'm, like, getting flashbacks. Dave is obviously, like, the love of the community. We love Dave. But Henrik Vanderheun in Scarlet Hand, totally not my type either. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but it's Henrik. Scarlet Hand is so much fun. I Love that game. The characters is fun. There's something, just being in that like museum by myself, working my little job, my internship, going back to the hotel, going to the hospital. Like, I love that game. I love that game. That is like one of my like S tier Nancy games. Alejandro too. Alejandro is so dreamy. But yeah, between Alejandro and Hendrik, that game is rich with men.
Nice talking to you.
Take care, hon.
Shoot, what's her name's not Teresa. Who's like the head curator? Does it start with a J? What is it? Why can't I think of it? I can picture her face. That's like, I'm so nervous if I'm ever on one of like the Nancy Drew, Southern Sleuth does the Nancy quizzes. My biggest, Joanna, thank you, J. Joanna. Semper Ubi Sabubi. I'm pretty sure there's like sweatshirts that say that on Cozy Gamer Emporium too. But if I'm ever on one of Southern Sleuth's quizzes, Nancy Drew quizzes, I'm so nervous because I'm so terrible with names. Like, I'm like, if I'm ever on one of those, I think I need to do like flashcards for myself. In fact, as an adult, does anyone else like, I think this is just more so me becoming a stay-at-home mom / I do content creation on the, that's my job every day, and hanging out with a kid. I need like some brain exercise games because there's just like, I don't want to say mentally I've declined in the last like 2 years, but like there is something about not working a job with other adults all the time every day that has definitely like, I need to like take a class or something. I don't know. I need to do something because like there's things where I'm like, my memory is getting worse, my like, or just like my ability to like recall what things mean or like things like that, and I'm like, I just need to start doing flashcards. If there's something I want to learn, I just need to start doing like 5-minute flashcards like several times a day or something. I do love playing like brain games and stuff like that just to kind of keep myself feeling sharp, but I know I'm a stay-at-home mom now, and there's obviously great benefits to that. I love it. I literally tell my husband, I'm like, I get to hang out with my baby and think about video games all day, and it's my dream, but also I'm like, I need to like tune up this brain of mine, I feel like. Start to play Nancy Drew games on Senior Detective. That actually is what I need to do. Just speedrun Senior Detective Nancy Drew. You're going to see me in a few streams, and I'm going to have like a big brain like Pinky in the Brain. That is actually how you reach superiority in intelligence, I'm pretty sure. Boom, big brain. Big brain energy from that. Okay, what are we doing now? Put all the books Iggy knocked over back. We did that.
All done.
Look through that Crystal Skull
Check.
book. Did that. Find out what the deal is with the card.
Can't
Not going to be
check
able to do
that
that
off
for a
yet.
while.
All done.
Did that. And we need to call Gilbert. Can we call from out here? Let's call Hodge Kissy real quick.
Yes, hello.
Hi, my name's Nancy Drew. Is this Professor Hotchkiss?
I am she, Nancy Drew. Your name has a ring to it. Do I know you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we met a little while back in Wisconsin.
Oh, yes. You were the delightful young lady doling out the
I get
samples
so
in the
pissed every
tasting
time
room of that
a
cheese
character doesn't remember me,
factory.
especially Hodgkiss.
No,
I get so
I met you at
pissed.
Wickford Castle.
How dare you forget Nancy?
There was no cheese tasting room at Wickford Castle.
No, we were both guests there.
I
found
feel
a
like,
journal written
see,
by
I'm going to
Marie
become
Antoinette, which you
Professor
translated.
Hodgkiss if I'm not careful with my memory.
Thanks to you, suddenly all I can think about is how wonderful a nice big slab of Colby cheese would taste right now. Listen, Mandy, I'm on a deadline, so if you could please just tell me why you called.
But my name isn't...
Deadline! Let's cut to the chase, shall we? Chop, chop.
Did a man from New Orleans named Bruno Bollet ever call you?
Ah, now there's a name you can remember.
Girl, so senile.
That's it, French.
Literally me in the
I'm a
future.
scholar of French
If I'm not an
history,
old crazy
you
bat
know.
like Hodgkiss,
Yes,
I don't want to
know.
grow old.
So did Bruno
We
Bollet
straight up
call
gave for the
you?
journal. That was the
Indeed, he
magnum
did.
opus.
Oui, oui.
Exactly. No, it's insulting. It's like, it's giving the way Mariah Carey never acknowledges J-Lo's existence. is it J-Lo that she has like beef with? She pretends like she has never heard of J-Lo before. There's like a certain celebrity she's like, who? Haven't heard of them. It's like competition and like the pop. Like they do similar music, and Mariah Carey's always like,
Why did he call?
I don't know
If you
who you're
mind my
talking
asking.
about. Never heard of her
Because
before.
he's
And it's
read
like, you
my
have.
book, of course.
You're just being
Crystal
snooty.
Skulls. Fact or fable, one of my
One of my best
efforts.
efforts, eh? Yeah, because I put so much effort into finding that journal.
Tangy lemon sauce.
You're welcome. I should have gotten a mention in that book.
Did he say anything about owning one of the skulls himself?
I would have hung up on him straight away if he had. I tell you, Brandy, if I had $1 for every crackpot who's called claiming to own one of those skulls, I'd be able to dine at the Russian tea room every evening for the rest of my life. All right, that's a bit of hyperbole, but you get the picture. No. If memory serves, we talked mostly about the skull called the Whisperer. He wanted to know if I had learned any more about it since my book was published, which I hadn't, or if I had any theory as to what happened to it, which I didn't.
And that was the extent of your conversation?
Well, now, let me think. My, such insatiable curiosity, Nellie. You remind me of someone I encountered on one of my journeys. But for the life of me, I cannot remember her name or the circumstances.
Nancy Drew? Wickford Castle?
Ah, the eyes have it.
I'm sorry?
That's what Bruno Bolet said when I turned the table.
Nancy's
and
so
asked him
patient
if
and
he had
kind.
any idea where the Whisperer was.
Completely forgotten which Nancy games we played on stream.
Then he
I
chuckled
think I
and
remember. Only because there is a difference between like playing a game and like chatting about it like this. So I definitely think I remember
How
that.
much would a crystal skull like the Whisperer be worth?
In this crazy
I might need to look at
day
a
and age,
list.
where the shorn hair and used tissues of celebrities get sold for thousands of dollars, there's absolutely no telling, Candy. $500,000 easily. Maybe even $1 million. Maybe 2. Maybe 10. The sky's the limit. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
If someone found a skull made of crystal, how could they be sure it's one of the crystal skulls?
We need to do like a checklist too, just so like
Wonderful question, Freddy.
obviously I'll repeat
How
games
easy?
eventually, but
Because there are sure to be thousands of fakes out there. Perhaps
I
tens
would
of
love to
thousands.
play them all at
But
some
remember,
point.
the real
on stream.
skulls were made long before the tools commonly used for carving today were invented. Which means, let's put on our thinking caps.
Modern-day tools would have left marks if the skull was a fake?
I only remember
Exactly
Waverly,
so.
'cause that's when I
Mind
found you.
the
Yep.
marks on a good
Treasure in the
fake
Royal
would be
Tower.
microscopic and
DNF
thus
White Wolf.
imperceptible to the human
R.I.P.
eye. However, any thorough
Shadow Ranch,
laboratory
no Crystal
analysis
Skull.
would quickly
I think
unmask a counterfeit.
So the only way to
Um,
prove that a skull is the real deal is by proving
the one
it's
in the
not a
castle in
fake?
Germany,
And
Captive
by
Curse.
examining its provenance, its history of ownership. If it can be shown that a particular specimen
The one that
has
we
been
tried
lost
100%
long
and we had to end up like
into modern
cheating.
times,
We
and
remember we
didn't just
hacked the
suddenly
system.
appear in, say, Germany in the mid-19th century, that would tend to support its authenticity.
I'm
as
not
well.
listening to like
The
almost
idea
anything
that the
Hotchkiss is
Whisperer
saying
can make
here.
its owner
Castle Malloy.
immortal. Do you
How could we
believe
forget
that?
Castle Malloy?
I believe
That one's like the
things
most
that
like what's the most
defy
out there
any
game like
so-called
Nancy game for you
rational
guys? Because mine's
explanations
Castle
happen
Malloy.
all the time,
That one's
Bessie.
crazy.
Now, does that mean there are mysterious external forces at work in the universe of which we do not and cannot ever have full knowledge? Or does it all boil down to us? If the human heart desperately wants
Yep, we do
something
need to
be
do a list.
true,
We'll add that on to
does
like
the
our
human mind have the
resume
power to
character
make
sheet
it true?
database.
Who knows? Oh, questions, questions, questions.
And you
Oh,
guys,
how
if I
dreary
stream
life would be without them.
On Saturday, like we can start at like a nice, I'm dropping my daughter off Friday so I can wake up, have a nice little morning, hop on, hang out, go into the afternoon, and I still have like my husband's not gonna be home until like late. Like we have so much time. I have so much time to just do whatever I want. I do think I want to go thrifting though. We have excellent thrift stores where I
In your
live.
book, you said that all the people who've ever owned the Whisperer were murdered. Yet Bruno Bolet dropped dead of a heart attack.
Are you saying the Whisperer was in his possession after all? The scallywag! Why didn't he tell
We
me
don't know that yet.
Oh, that's right. I would have hung up on him. Well, if that's the case, then I strongly suggest you take a close look at his so-called heart attack, Sandy. Because if he owned the he died, I guarantee you it was at the hands of someone else. Or my name's not Beatrice Gertrude Winifred Hotchkiss.
Thanks
Beautiful
for your
name.
help.
Rock
That's
and
what my next
roll.
child's going to be named. No. I did play Ghost Dogs. I think that was before you joined us, Anya. Ghost Dogs was the first one I streamed when I was, like, pregnant and started streaming. There was, like, another point where I started streaming, like, 2 years before that or something, but it just, like, I didn't really stick with it. I was teaching at the time, so I just didn't have that social energy to, things teaching took from me back in the day. Okay. I actually, like, feel like I'm gonna save real quick. Let's see. F you, Hotchkiss. Because I do just, like, want to quickly peek. List of Nancy Drew games. I need to, like, figure out, were there other ones that I streamed too? Let's go to the good old Wikipedia. I have streamed Treasure in a Royal Tower, I'm pretty sure. Oh, hold on. There we go. We've done Treasure in a Royal Tower. We've done Ghost Dogs for sure. Never done Danger on Deception Island. That would be a perfect one. I love that game. The vibes are the best. Obviously, Shadow Ranch we just finished. So scared to play this one on stream because I would need a lot of chat help, I feel like. Have you played Ghost Dogs? I feel like Yep, there is a clip. I think there's a clip. I was playing it, but, like, Bean kept, like, running around in the background here or something. Did you actually stream Scarlet Hand? You imagined that, I think. Because I don't think I've streamed it. It feels like one of those games that, like, I think it'd do better on stream than I think it would. Just because it's so information heavy, but it's such a fun game. I haven't done Secret of the Old Clock, but I feel like this one would actually be fun for spring. It feels like a really springy kind of game. The Lilac Cafe. Actually, Last Train 2 is another one I really want to play. We were talking about it last time, and I think we romanticized it to the point that I'm, like, so in love with the thought. This would be a really fun stream game. And so would Danger by Design, honestly. Like, Castle Malloy is out there. Danger by Design is also a really out there game. Look who joined us. Hi, Lucy. You want to come up? You want to come snuggle? Come up here. Oh, I gotta flirt with her first. Creature Kapu Cave would be fun. That's a really short and sweet one. That'd be a fun summer game. There she is, our Lucy emoji in chat. White Wolf of Icicle Creek, DNF, currently playing. Phantom of Venice is another fun one. That's another out there game that I think would be a fun one on stream. We have done Haunting of Castle Malloy. I do have Ransom. I do have a copy of Ransom that I hopefully never accidentally delete. You guys, I did something with the last game. I'll tell you it when we get there. We've done Warnings. We did that as, like, kind of our, like, spooky transition into winter game. It was, like, perfect timing for that. I'd be down to play Trail of the Twister again, but again, it's just never one of my favorites. Incredible game. It would take, this is a longer one. Incredible game, though. Have not streamed. We have done Captive Curse. I'm thinking we'll do Alibi and Ashes, like, soon. Tomb of the Lost Queen, have not streamed. We're gonna stream, ended up getting too pregnant at that point. I really love Deadly Device. It's a very cozy winter game for me, so maybe not anytime soon, but Ghost of Thornton Hall is actually my second favorite Nancy Drew game. And I had the copy on my, like, little Amazon Kindle touchscreen back in the day. I stayed up. I remember I discovered it in my dorm room with my best friend Hannah. And I literally, like, stayed up. I could hear her, like, quietly snoring the entire time. And that's always going to, like, play in my head. I had, like, my little headphones in. I was sitting up in my little lofted dorm bed. And I've played this until 5. I watched the sun come up. I binged this game when I first realized. Oh, so that's, like, one of my favorite games. Silent Spy kind of have the itch to play. This would be a good Mother's Day timing kind of game. Shattered Medallion. I don't mind it. It's definitely, like, and it's, like, definitely, like, a D or C tier game for me. Probably D. But it's okay. It's just scattered and the storyline's crazy. Labyrinth of Lies is actually one of my favorite ones. Would be down to stream. We were gonna stream Sea of Darkness. This is actually a shorter game, I think. Would love to stream it, but again, great winter game. Midnight in Salem. We'll see. We'll see if we stream that one. Mystery of the Seven Keys would be a really long one to stream too. And the issue is, and it's not that big of a deal, I'm fine buying it again, but I did get sent a copy from Her Interactive. They, that was not the paid partnership I did with them, but they did gift me Seven Keys when it first released, which I remember getting that email when I was in Walmart and like walking around Walmart like the rest of the time because I was so excited. Her Interactive emailed me. I couldn't believe it. It was like little like 8-year-old Maddie was just so proud of me in that moment. It was very exciting. But yeah, they gifted me a copy and I downloaded it from the website, not thinking about how temporary those downloads are. And I think I had it installed on my like main hard drive. I have a separate like external hard drive that I keep plugged in where I like, that's where all my Nancy Drew games are kept. I don't think I put it there and I deleted it. All right, back to the game. So yeah, now I don't have access to Seven Keys anymore, and I have to like rebuy it if I want to play it again, which I'm fine doing. Like I said, I'd buy the game anyways, so it's one of those things. But tough times. Okay, let's call Gilbert.
This is Dr. Gilbert Buford's answering service. How may I help you?
I need to talk to Dr. Buford. Could you maybe give me a number where I can reach him?
No, ma'am, I cannot. Is this an emergency?
Sort of. I mean, it's not a medical emergency. See, I'm only going to be in town for a short time, and Dr. Buford and I have this mutual friend who died recently, and I just really need to talk to him about it.
Need some consoling, huh?
Yes, I need some consoling. That's it exactly.
Well, tell you what, it's against the rules to give you his phone number,
Oh,
but
you're
I
still getting
can
fired,
tell you
buddy.
that now that he's all but retired, Dr. Buford spends most of his evenings at his favorite gumbo stand down in the French Quarter. If you really need to talk to him, you can probably find him there.
Great. Do you know the address?
It's at the corner of Rampart and Domain.
Did you say Rampart and Domain?
I did indeed. Granny Pumpkin's Cajun cooking. They make some darn fine gumbo.
More like Shorty's
Thank you.
Cajun
Thank
cooking.
you very much.
You're welcome, and I'm truly sorry about your loss.
My loss?
That mutual friend of yours and Dr. Buford's?
Oh, right. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Lucy, you can come back.
Bye.
No? I really dislike Her's game library system where you lose access to your bought games after 30. Yeah, it's... I get it because the funds go directly to them, and that's how I want to support a company that I want to support. On Steam, I would assume, I'm thinking, Steam probably gets a percent of profits, obviously, and so they probably lose a little bit of sales when they sell through Steam, but, like, Steam keeps your library there forever. I get it, like, it's probably expensive for them to update that to a... Has it always been that way? I think it ended in, like, 2017 or something, where you couldn't, like, download games any longer, or I feel like it's always been that way, but I almost never recommend to people to buy from her website because of that. I'm going to be a Steam user until the website blows up. I am such a fan of Steam. Like, I typically don't, like, put myself on the line for companies that have a lot more money than me, but, like, Steam is one of those companies I would fight for, I think, if it came down to it. Do we call Ned, or do we ignore the fact that he exists this entire game? We should call Ned, because I guess it is kind of important with, like, the whole Henry Boulay thing, but I don't think we call him yet. Let's go to the cemetery. Okay, I'm thinking of how to get there. Straight twice. Okay, can't do that yet, but, okay. So we have 4 squares, and I think we need to, like, keep the order of these kind of correct. I don't know. Okay. Let's take out this paper in like the rainiest place in the world right now. Worm. And I hope it doesn't get, like, there's rain overlaid over the paper right now. Bird. What's this one from? Bones. What's this? Oh, it's the stepped on one. I forgot about that. Okay, and one more. Not the eerie red light coming from inside. And coffin. I love how they like made this game spooky in such a child-friendly way. Like nothing super scary actually happens, but they're like, ooh, bones, coffins, cemetery. But then like Water's Edge comes out and actually like scares the shit out of anyone that's ever played it. Everyone. It's so, that is the scariest game. As an adult, as a child, I don't think, as a mother now, I don't think I would let Freya play that game until she's like at least 12. Like even then I'd kind of be like, I don't know, girl, this one's really scary. I don't know. I mean, obviously maybe she'll be in a Nancy, maybe not. I hope she's in a Nancy. But I don't know if I'd let her play that one for like a long time. That would be like the last one we'd play together. And we'd be like holding each other through it because that one so scary. The issue I personally have with her system is that the games are so expensive there and it feels kind of money hoggy that you most likely will end up having to purchase some games more than once. And I've done that. I have had to do that in the past. A lot of my games I actually bought on Amazon back in the day, which I don't love. They're digital downloads, but you have to like reinstall the Amazon game downloader every single time you want to like replay it, and it makes me update that like every time I play it from like my hard drive where it's installed. So not the best. Steam is the best one. Steam is 100% the best one. But yeah, if you ever download games from Her Interactive's website, put them in a folder that you will never ever delete and it's easy for you to find. That's the best advice I have. Like it really put the whole "you don't own your games" quote from Ubisoft in practice. Yeah, and it just is anyone else like getting into the physical copy mindset again, which is so funny because it's just so like opposite of where the world's heading. But I'm getting that way with like if we make like I don't even like making digital purchases for like movies anymore because I'm like at any point that platform can go away and all that money I spent on those movies is going to be null and void. Physical media supremacy. That's my husband. Like we literally were talking last night about buying a DVD player. We've been using our Xboxes forever for like Blu-ray, DVD, and the readers just go on those things. I mean, we've had them for what, like 12 years now. Now that I'm thinking about it, like 12 years. And yeah, like 12. Yeah, it's been about 12 years. And the readers just go out on those things. It's happened with every Xbox I've ever had. And we're like, we just need to like buy a DVD player and like get like one of those like CD binders where you just like have like, you put all your DVDs and Blu-rays in there and you can just like, as a child, like, as we're entering our, you know, era of having children, that's such a fun way to like look at what movie you want to watch. But yeah, I'm so getting into that again. I'm like, yeah, let's start buying DVDs and girl, I collect physical media the same way people say we need gold for the apocalypse. You're gonna have to lock that up someday because there's gonna come a point where like a major like media purchasing platform goes away and we are gonna be coming to your house. Open up. Let us watch your movies. Let us play those games. But yeah, same thing. And I so appreciate my husband for this because he's always been one that's like, if I really like something, I want a physical copy. And I totally got out of that mindset in like my adulthood. Because I'm like, oh, it's so convenient. You can just like re-download it when you want it. You don't have to like worry about where it's at. You can just go into the app and it's there. And now that, you know, I've realized that that's a farce if it wants to be. Yeah, I'm like, there's so many things that I've gotten rid of or like given away that I'm like, I should have kept that. I should have kept that. I do think I do still have my CD binder from like when CDs were a thing in my car. Every cool teenager had one. And like MP3 players were kind of the thing, but I still love listening to my CDs. And I've gotten to the point too where I just appreciate an album for like what it is, like listening to it from like start to finish and like seeing how it goes together as an album. Yeah, no, physical media is the way to go. If you haven't started, take this as your sign. I even like, again, I've showed these off a few times. These are like my old Sims games, which I opened up my Sims 3 case and the game's not even in there. And I think it's inside of one of my like disk drives that I had for my old like college laptop. I'm pretty sure it's still in there, which I have to find. There's like just old physical copies of games I have like right back here. Also, a failed DIY. I tried to paint that vase that's like right here. It probably doesn't look bad from where you're at, but it looks so bad in person, you guys. I was just trying to do like cute little like uneven stripes down the side. It looks like my daughter painted it and she's one. No knock to her artistic ability, but like she might even be able to do better than that. Could talk about physical media in the digital dark age we're in now for literal days. Same, and I want to hear more about it. Like if you got more points to give, I would love to hear more about it, because I feel like I've like just had that epiphany in the last year. 6 months even. 6 months, which I'm embarrassed to admit, because like this has been an issue for like quite a while now, and I went from like thinking people who collect, I totally love collections and things like that, but like I was like, oh, it takes up so much space, it takes up like, you know, like, oh, you have to like go get it every time you want to go watch it. Now I'm like, no, it's the smart way to do things. I was wrong. I was so wrong in that. Nope, it's the digital dark age is here. It's just, I don't like people having control over things that I feel like I own, only to realize that I kind of don't. One of the only reasons why I want to visit the US is for your huge thrift stores with literal mile-long shelves of DVDs and CDs, and it is like that. Give me 2,005 suitcases in 9 hours. I love that 5 suitcases worth in 9 hours is your timeline for that. No, you would love it here. It's one of those things that I have like overlooked. I've overlooked so many times. I'm gonna look when I go next and see if I can find any like. I would love to have like the Nancy Drew collection. I have like the discs because I got like the 2-in-1 games, and so they'd come in like little like pocket things. Like it wasn't like a true Nancy Drew case, but I would love to get like the Nancy Drew collection. I would love to get some Nancy Drew books. I would love to get even like VHSs sometimes. There's just the same way we feel about records. I think that was like the shift for me, is like understanding why people like records and how it's just like a more enjoyable experience too. Like not only do you own that music and you can play it whenever you want, as long as you have something to play it on, you can. It's a different way to engage with media, and I've just really come to appreciate that. I'm so happy to have grown up in a time where like that was my childhood. Rewinding VHS tapes. Our first DVD we got was the original Shrek, and we got it for Christmas one year, along with like, again, my family. Not a whole lot of money growing up. We did okay, but like, you know, we weren't like rich or anything like that. But we really prioritized media and gaming and movies, and like that's how we spend time together as a family. We got a projection screen in our basement one year for Christmas, and we watched Shrek on it because that was the first DVD we got. And I think we also got like Monsters Inc. Was that out in 2000? It was like 2000 or 2001. And that was our family Christmas present that year. It was incredible. Okay. So we have those. Let's go look at the thing in the... There's either going to be a key in here or an eye, I'm guessing. Where's the crypt? Ah. No. Please tell me the sound effect is like built into the table too. Sioux Falls thrift stores never have anything good. And that's where I feel like I am in such a prime location where I live. Mankato would be like the nearest town to us that's like bigger. It's not that big of a town, but like they have like a mall and, you know, Target and stuff like that. I haven't ever been over to there, but where I live is such like an old person town. There's where like I know what they're going for and it's not going to be the same things I go for. And like the thrifting community where I live probably has a good like 20, 30 years on me. So I feel like my interests would be a prime, like I would have the creme de la crop of choosings when I go, and I've just been wanting to go so badly. I stop in every once in a while, or like when my mom comes to visit, we'll just like go walk around and go to some of the thrift stores. We have like 5 or 6 thrift stores here, I think. I'm so excited. I will report back because I think that's what I'm going to spend a little bit of time on Saturday. Maybe like a nice little morning, go get myself a coffee, go thrifting a little bit, and then come back and maybe I'll hop on stream and tell you guys what I found. Because I feel like for DVDs, for like, I was like, I could probably even find us a DVD player too for super cheap. Okay, so oh, wait. We have to look at the patterns around the or on the borders of these images. For me, being Norwegian and growing up with Norwegian dubs of shows, finding old physical copies of like Scooby-Doo or Moomin I love Moomin, is the only way to watch those shows in Norwegian. So yes, I will look like a freaking hoarder with all my DVDs and VHS if I get to keep my childhood somewhat safe. Absolutely. Especially like from that perspective too is, no, those are going to be like gold mines, the literal gold mines. Don't worry. Your secret's safe with us, Anya. We won't tell anyone that you're sitting on a treasure trove of goods. How big would you say your collection is at this point? Like how many like DVDs, movies? I don't know how big of a collection would you say it's at this point? I still do have some physical copies of games and stuff. My husband has a lot more because like I said, he's like, if he's a huge fan of something, he wants a physical copy. He wants like the special edition version of that with the cool case. We have so many Halos. We have like Titanfall. We have I do have the original Oblivion around here somewhere with like the map and everything. It got water damage because we got water in our basement one year. It happened multiple times, but I remember like that was a bad year and a lot of our games got soaked, but they were fine. They were fine. Okay, so I need to look at, so we're going to go TL for top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right for these labels. Wait, okay. So this one kind of has this like diamond shaped, this one. Okay, so this one is the worm. I'm not going to label them. We'll just do this. So worm. Okay, this one kind of has like the leafy floral looking thing here. This is the bird. We have the bones have kind of this cute little floral. Oops. Oh, the other one was already set. It's the key. Is this the key to the crypt? Heck yeah, guys. Rock on. This has been such a good, productive, yet chatty stream. I feel like if we get too chatty, I just neglect gameplay so much because I get so into the conversation. But this is like a really good game for streaming. There's not a whole lot of dialogue that gets bogged down. I have like 2 drawers filled with like 2 small towers under my desk, plus cardboard box, my Moomin VHS tapes. That show is so wholesome. That's like, we turned on a movie today. There was like a Barbie movie, but it came out in like 2023 or something. And I was like, oh, Barbie. Like, I loved the Barbie movies growing up. Those are like DVDs that I definitely want to be able to find. Like the Nutcracker, Princess and the Pauper. I love those old Barbie movies. We tried a new one, and it was just bright, flashing, obnoxious colors. And we do screen time. We're screen time junkies ourselves, and we're mindful about it with our daughter because as a teacher, I've seen so many students with a true screen addiction that is not addressed, and it is like it's so detrimental to them. So like we're just very careful about the kind of media that she gets to consume, and just making sure that it's like low stimulation. I want her to be able to play with her toys if there's like something she's watching on. If we see her just get like zombie-eyed and zoned into the TV, we're like, okay, no, this is not the right show. We're shutting it off. But there's like a new Barbie one that was just like these obnoxious bright colors, and like, ugh, hate it. But like Moomin is so perfect for just like an easy show to turn on. She loves watching it and she's interacting with it. And then she'll like, you know, go play with her toys and still do other things and move around and whatnot. I haven't really gone through all of it properly, but I would say close to like 100 is really good. Maybe a little over. That's amazing. Yeah, that's definitely way more than what I need to like compile ours, and like I would love to like set up an area. They didn't have to do that to our boy Henry. In case it wasn't clear enough that Henry is in fact an emo, we have a goth in Waverly Academy. We have an emo in Legend of the Crystal Skull. Who can blame a guy for crying at his parents' crypt? Are you kidding? Like, same, buddy, but he just gets razzed for it. Oh yeah, let's make the guy wearing guy liner go cry over his dead parents, as he should. Okay, what are we doing here?
This must be the painting that goes in that empty frame.
Does anyone recognize this face? I need to know. Does anyone recognize who this is? Who this is? I don't remember the term, but it's been shown that older cartoons help calm kids down more. I think, yep, today's are like super stimulating. It's all about like that dopamine hit. Same as like scrolling on TikTok for us. It's that like, I'm looking to be stimulated. I need that dopamine kick. As someone with like ADHD, that's exactly what it is. It's just dopamine addiction is what it becomes. And it's so easy to spot too. Like Coco Melon, absolutely not. That show is not allowed in our house. Miss Rachel is about as modern as we get, and I like her because it's very educational. It's teacher approved from me. I do love Miss Rachel, and it's been so like we do try to be like interactive with it too. So if they're singing and dancing, I'm singing and dancing. If they're doing like sign language, I'm doing sign language with her. It's so fun to like. I love educational shows. A really good one, Blue's Clues. I know I've talked about it a few times. Blue's Clues is like my favorite children's show of all time, I think. So low stim, so educational. And it doesn't just like, if she gets sucked in, I'm like, nope, we're turning this off. When I went thrifting last, they had these wooden CD stands that when closed are basically side tables too. That would be super cool. We used to like, that was like a whole subsection of like furniture design was like DVD cabinets. And I remember like, I would love to have something like that. We have, speaking of like really cool, like multifunctional furniture, for our wedding gift, my dad made us speakers, like a whole sound system for our TV. We have like 2 speakers like just right next to the TV, but he made this really cool thrifted end table. It's like hexagon shaped, and it's black, and it's got these like really cool like medieval style handles on it almost. It looks like it's from a castle. It's such a cool piece of furniture, but he built a subwoofer into it. So if we're watching like Dune, or we want to watch like a big movie or something and really get like the experience, we have like a whole surround sound system type thing, or like we can like listen to music on it and it sounds incredible. Oh, it's so cool. When will it be my turn to go thrifting in the States? I wish I could just like transport you here. Like Saturday we could go thrifting together. It's so fun. It's so fun. And if like I said, I have like such a prime spot. Just making sure no neighbors are listening to me now. I have such a prime spot too. I'm so excited to go on Saturday. Love Blue's Clues. I broke the news to someone this weekend that Blue is a girl and Magenta's a boy, which I love. We were fighting gender norms even back in what, like 1990s? It was definitely the 90s, because that was like my show growing up. I was Blue's Clues for Halloween one year, and I wore that costume to bed like every single night as pajamas. And my mom was just like, let me cut the strings off the back, and sure. I just don't want you suffocating in your sleep. She didn't even fight me on it. No, that, and Steve, my parents actually met him. They did like a VIP, he does like shows around the country talking about mental health now. And they went to one of his shows and they like got to meet him and stuff and do like a Q&A session. Steve from Blue's Clues. I really wished shipping from the US to Europe wasn't so expensive because I would have commissioned someone to go thrifting for me, right? Oh, if I ever find anything, that would be totally worth it to do. So I will keep a lookout for like that kind of stuff. I never knew Magenta was a boy because a lot of times they did. And like, I wonder, like, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the writer's room when they made that decision. Because, like, was it, you know, a gender norm motivation thing where they just like, let's just be opposite. They're just so used to pink being for girls and blue being for boys. Let's just switch it up because why not? I don't know. I would love to know. Because, yeah, and, like, they really don't focus on, like, the gender of the dogs ever. But in my head, as a kid, I was still like, Blue's a boy, Magenta's a girl. Because that was so hammered into us that pink is girly and, you know. Also, did anyone recognize who that was? Dr. Predovicu from Danger on Deception Island. Same picture. Let me pull it up again just so... Oh, not that. Oh, we can't look at it again. Okay, we'll look at it when we hang it back up. Do I need to write these dates down? Fifi is such a cute name. Is that all there is to do in here? I'll write these dates down just to like... Oh, how did his parents die again? They were really young. Are these his parents? Marianne. Bole. 1959 to 1990. We have Claude. Love the name Claude too. '55. 1990. Marcel Bolle. Also, if we stream until at least 3:30, which my husband's home today, so we can kind of tag team Freya after her nap. 1826 to 1890. I think Libby Lou is streaming at 3:30 Central Time today, so I think we might be able to raid her stream afterwards. I love like discovering, like watching people be able to like grow their own channels over time. She has just really dedicated herself, and I think she absolutely deserves the extra views, so. Fifi Bolle. Imagine having a grandma Fifi. That's such an adorable name. 18. I just saw hold on, I want to open it up on my phone, Anya. It's so cute. Also, just like, this is totally a frivolous like thought for thrifting or just like finding like, you know, preserving media and stuff, but like it makes a bookshelf look so cute. I love it on a bookshelf. Yep, and it's the Norwegian version. Cool. It's such a cute show. If you have not checked out Moomin and you just like, I love watching, like, Blue's Clues is one of those shows where, like, I still love watching it now. I still do. It's a relaxing show to put on. There is nothing wrong with turning on old shows that made you happy as a kid. Dora the Explorer. We were watching SpongeBob before this. I love SpongeBob. That's still one of my favorite shows. Info dumping you on Discord. We need to start the Discord. This is it. We need to be able to share these things on Discord. All right, 1918 to 1981. Okay, I think we're good here. Rugrats. I remember this one time, one of my college friends and I, we spent like the day at the beach and just kind of like got bored and we're like, now what? And she's like, you just want to go get Arby's and watch Rugrats for hours? And I was like, absolutely. It was great. We just watched Rugrats. And I love Rugrats because if you go, if you look in the backgrounds, like, they love to put, like, funny things on in the background. Like, it'll be, like, Dill pulling, what's the dog's name? Spike. Pulling Spike's ears or something like that. Or just, like, little silly things happen. Like, Grandpa, like, doing funny stuff in the background. Rugrats is another really cute one. That one's on Netflix, and we don't currently have Netflix. And I do miss Rugrats the most from Netflix. Ed, Edd and Eddy, that was one of the shows. So my parents were they weren't very censorship friendly in general. Like, they just kind of let us watch what we wanted to watch. But I think Ed, Edd and Eddy was one of the ones that just overstimulated my mom, and she hated. Like, she would make us turn it off if we were watching it around her. We couldn't not watch it. She just hated when it was on. Norwegian Moomin Dubs is the only acceptable way to watch it for me, but you can't really find it anywhere due to the copyright, and the DVDs are resold for like $20 each, compared to the VHS tapes that are still 1 to 7. Plus, like, VHS tapes are cute. They're cute. I thought it was on Hulu. It might be on Hulu now. It was on Rugrats, like, it was months ago. I don't know. It might be on Hulu now. I had a mad crush on Ed as a kid. Is Ed, EDD, is he the one with, like, the hat? Plank. Every time I found a piece of wood and had a marker, I would always make Plank. That was a silly show. Okay, so now we have to hang this up. Oh, and there's an order thing to this. Yep, Beanie Boy. He was the cutest one. Who did I have a crush on as a kid? Cartoon character-wise, it was Jack the Pumpkin King from Nightmare Before Christmas. And low-key Simba. Adult Simba. When he sings, so good. Okay, this thing I always think is like a little creature when I see it.
Did that.
Okay.
Did
Alright, I
that.
think we can switch over to Bess now. What was that last thing I checked off? I didn't even look. See if the canvas I found in the crypt.
Check.
Alright, I think this is a good part to leave off Nancy. Let's go to Bess.
Hello?
Hi, Bess. It's me.
So what's been happening? Tell me everything.
Well, let's see. Since the last time we talked, I was just about getting ready to...
Or like being in Bess's position right now, just being like kind of stuck downtown, and
But
yeah,
the
it's
reason I
stormy,
called
but like
is I
shops
need
are
you to
still
talk to
open.
this doctor
Oh,
named Gilbert Buford, who, as it
I could
turns
walk
out,
an area like
likes
this
to
for
hang out at a
hours
gumbo
and just
stand
like window
called
shop
Randy
for hours.
Pumpkin's Cajun Cookin', which should be right across from our hotel.
You just want me to
It's
talk
rope Bess
to
into
him?
another thing she
That's
doesn't want to
it?
do.
Nothing
And when she puts up a
nefarious?
boundary, let's
No
cross it
black
immediately.
ops stuff?
He was Bruno Bolet's doctor, and apparently his best friend, too. I just need for you to see if he thinks there was anything weird about the way Bruno died.
What do you mean by weird?
I mean, I kind of think maybe Bruno was murdered.
Murdered? By whom?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Everyone's a suspect at this point.
Including this Gilbert Buford guy?
Well,
Great, I'm gonna be chatting up Jack the Ripper.
oh, I'm sure the guy's fine, but be subtle, just in case.
Well, I can see the gumbo stand
Ugh.
from our balcony. If he's the guy that's sitting down there, I guess he looks harmless. Okay, I'll go talk to him.
Thanks, Bess. Let me know what happens.
Cheerio!
Okay. I also grew up watching tons of old Scooby-Doo, like Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And I forget that there's like different versions of the show, but they had like, what, like 3 or 4 different like Scooby-Doo TV shows. I don't know what the difference was, but those were a treat to watch. My dad also loved Scooby-Doo. It was one of his favorite things to watch, so we'd always watch that one with him. Can't find them dubbed, so I'm surviving on the English subs. Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster is still one of my favorite childhood movies. I would always watch it with my cousins when I'd like babysit them and stuff, or like just be over there. That one is so good. I think I have it on Amazon, but again,
Why,
it's digital.
hello, young lady. How kind of you to grace an old man with your
This is such
lovely
an
presence.
icky conversation.
Are you Dr. Gilbert Buford?
I'm delighted to report that I am indeed.
Because, I mean, canonically, Nancy and friends are what, like 18 in these? Around 18? They have to be like, Nancy has to be an adult, I would think. Zombie Island, Ahola, Aloha Scooby-Doo has me in a chokehold. Wait, is Zombie Island from the movie? Because, like, the Scooby-Doo movie itself is one of the best movies ever made, actually, especially for, like, youth media. That movie did change my life. The cartoons are great. The movie, here's the rule of thumb, is if something started out as a TV show when you were a kid and became a movie, excellent. It's going to be a great movie. SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the Scooby-Doo movie, I could go on. But if something started as a movie and became a TV show, like I think Barnyard was one of them. Does anyone remember the movie Barnyard? And then it like became like a Disney show or like Cartoon Network show or something like that. Never as good. The movie's usually good, but all right. 18, 19, typically, that's what I would think, right? Because they still have to be like, emphasize on Nancy being an amateur detective and being, you know, young and stuff like that. But I would think like 18, 19. Also, has an ad rolled lately? Do we need to do that? I don't really want to. I don't think I can do it from my stream manager here, but let me know if we should do like a quick ad roll if you guys need a break or something.
Your answering service said I'd probably find you here.
This
Get
here
his
is my
buddy in
favorite
trouble.
spot in the whole city. Delicious gumbo, pleasing view, particularly now, I might add.
My name's Bess Marvin. I'd like to ask you some questions about Bruno Bollet, if that's okay?
I'd prefer subject matter of a happier nature.
Ads right
but
now.
I do
Okay.
not want to seem
Should I finish the
inhospitable,
conversation
so
with Dr.
what is it
with
you
Dr.
want to know?
Bollet first, or should I just like, let's take a real quick break. I'll stop right here. Let me go back to this and we will do a very quick ad break. What is it, like a minute, I think? Also, the first ad being Norwegian Cruise Line is hysterical. Is it running right now? Oh, it is going right now. Okay. Also, for anyone watching on like TikTok or YouTube, ad break on Twitch. So we're taking a little breather. Okay, I think ads are off now. Lucy agrees with me. Okay, they're off because you heard her yapping in the background. FYI to everyone, turning to physical media, especially thrifted copies where you can, and limiting your use of streaming services and archiving stuff, Internet Archive, etc., as a way to rebel against the big money companies. Yes. What was I going to add to that? I was thinking about it while I was waiting for the ad countdown. My brother has something, and I think he like puts his own digital copies into this. It's called Plex, and it's like a hard drive type thing, but he also like, you can like make it functional on the internet. So like I can access it with his password and stuff. I think he keeps like a lot of his media on his Plex is what it's called. A way to like preserve digital media, especially movies. Let me like look it up. Plex. It's first and only streaming platform to offer free ad-supported movie. Is that what it is? Media streaming service that allows. I'll have to ask him about it and see like in terms of media preservation. He's big and he's in the movie industry in LA, so he's like, you know, he takes media preservation pretty seriously. We have a show that you can't even like stream anywhere. It's an anime called Zoids from our childhood, and we would watch it every day after school. So good. He has like that on there, and I don't even think I can like find where to buy it without it being like expensive in secondhand. TV show. Old show, 1999 to 2003. I'm not even like finding where to like stream them or anything. Nothing comes up. I think you can. Okay, you can buy them on Amazon, but it's a VHS tape. I don't know if it's a season or what, but like he has the entire thing that he's preserved on his Plex or something. Too. Okay, we can get back to the game. I just wanted to look that up real quick. Internet isn't as forever as people say, hence why, exactly, you should find ways to archive your fave shows, videos, memes, fanfics, TikToks. Yep, 100%. And that's something because like, memory can be expensive. I think it's gotten less expensive, thankfully, but like, if you haven't already, do yourself a favor and get yourself a, at least external hard drive or something, because I'm like running into that with my phone where I hate that I need to do a phone dump for pictures. I like having access to any picture I want, but it has to download from the cloud. That could go away at any point, especially now that I've become a mom and that's how I take pictures. We've just made such a shift back into like digital cameras even are becoming a thing again, where you're saving things onto an SD card that you save onto your computer or something like that. Nope, I've like looked at just getting an external hard drive just for saving things like that, pictures, movies, media. File corruption is a thing. Always make copies and store them separately. Yep. Nope, thank you, Anya. This is all such really good information. You know, also just use USB drives if it's only for smaller files like MP3 and stuff. Yep. No, thank you so much for this, because if you're not already doing it, if you have favorite things that you don't want to have to rely on the internet to keep for you, it's worth spending an afternoon to just save it for yourself. Oops, I need to put one more thing up. Okay, we're good.
Is it true that Dr. Boulay was your best friend?
Well, now, I was certainly his best friend, but I cannot honestly say that he was mine.
Sorry, one more click. There we go. We're good.
Fact is, while socializing with my fellow
Special
man,
interest brain rot is my
particularly with
superpower. That's the
pretty
best
young
kind of
women
brain rot to
such as
have.
yourself,
It is.
has always been a source of pleasure for me. Bruno
Special
was just
interests
the
are what
opposite.
make people interesting people.
Unfortunately, the
I
older
love
he
hearing
got,
about
the
like
more
what people are
numerous his
into. I love hearing about what their hobbies
became,
are. I
and
think
the less concern about their
one
negative
thing I
effect
talk
upon
sorry
others he
sorry
became.
Dr. Boulay, we are going to talk over you. One thing I talk to my husband about so much is how, especially for like men, it's a very normal thing for them to be into hobbies, whether that's sports, whether it's like, I consider my husband, he loves fantasy football. I would consider that hobby of his. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it for him, but he loves documenting like data and doing deep dives and watching film and doing things like that for it. Or like it's so normal for men to have hobbies today, even woodworking, modding cars, things like that, doing model builds, painting model builds, things like that are still marketed to men in such a normal way. And I feel like we've recently kind of had a shift, I think, with cozy becoming such a big thing in like TikTok and stuff like that, and cozy hobbies and whatnot. We're kind of saying like, hey, women, you guys should have hobbies too. And like, there's more than just, I just feel like it's not a normal thing for women to have hobbies anymore. And I'm not saying like women haven't had hobbies. Like I've always been such a hobby person. But when like you ask, like, I see it on TikTok all the time, where girls are like, I just feel like I'm on TikTok, or I'm like doing skincare, or, it's things that aren't hobbies, but they're sold to us as hobbies, but they're not hobbies. And I love when people have special interests and hobbies. I think it so individualizes someone, and it makes me remember them, and it inspires me to indulge in my own hobbies and get off my phone every once in a while, and, just do things that I really enjoy with my hands that don't always require a screen or sometimes do require a screen. Video editing, I love doing that stuff. And I love that we're having that conversation of hobbies for women, you know, even if it's just old school stuff like knitting and crocheting. I love it. I like to inform people on this because I've experienced content dear to me becoming lost media, and it sucks. So it does really kind of annoy me when certain people don't really see the crisis we're in and use laziness as an excuse to not rebel, eyeing certain people. No, absolutely. And that's one thing I really appreciate for like abandonware websites is that was like kind of the first thing I came across is that woke me up to like, oh yeah, no, we do need to be preserving these things because a company can just decide to not sell them anymore and that's it. And it's a legal way to be able to download, you know, old software, not that companies have decided that they don't want to profit off of anymore. Like I'm talking about like first Zoo Tycoon type games, Clue Finder games, like those. Nina, if you haven't checked her out, Anya, I think you would really like Nina Struggles. That's also a streamer. She does a lot of old school games like that, and she collects them. She's really big about like, I think she's a video editor in LA too, just like my brother. No, I don't think she's in LA actually. I think she was for a while, but like, she has like all the old games on disc, like old Clue Finder. She has an incredible collection of old abandonware type games. And yeah, it's one of those things I'm so annoyed with myself for not thinking about this sooner and realizing it sooner. My husband's talked about it for a while, and like in the past years when I've just really been like, oh, we need to like start doing this if, you know, it's convenient to rely on streaming services, but it's not, you know, the best practice at all. For women, it's either, seeing kind of like hysterical fangirls, pick-me girls getting into male hobbies or gaming that isn't valid for some reason, and the reason is misogyny. No, 100%. I'm so happy. Cozy K, I see her as like the pioneer of cozy games a little bit. I know it's been a thing for a while, but I think she's like the big one that like coined the term, and she went super mainstream. Her and gamer girl Gail is another really big one. I've loved, obviously, as someone who is kind of in that space now, I'm so happy it's become a thing, and I think it's just been such a gentle reminder to women to just indulge in things that are fun to them. And I have such a struggle when I see people like talk about doing things like self-care for fun, because I think self-care is important, and I think that can be a really broad term. When I think about self-care, it's like taking care of myself, going to the gym, doing my skincare, you know, keeping myself maintained and stuff, but I don't see that as a hobby, and I don't think it should be seen as a hobby. I think that should just be seen as like a way to take care of yourself. Hobbies for me are, my husband and I had a good conversation of like, we had to like define what a hobby is. It's not something you should do. It's something that you choose to do for fun because it's a skill that you're building, or it's, you know, a new form of art that you're trying to master, or it's, you know, something that you can just focus on in a mental way that enriches your life. I think there has to be like an enrichment from it. And I think we just, in the past like 20 years, we've really seen kind of a dive away from that for women specifically, or where it was seen as like a nerdy thing to do or a not cool thing to do. I never talked to friends growing up about like knitting and things like that. I rarely talked about games because I just didn't have a whole lot of friends that were into that. And it's just, I've always loved doing it. I don't like that I felt the need to be quiet about it. And I can't wait to like show my daughter all the different hobbies that she gets to choose from and find interest in, and hopefully like, you know, have as like a lifelong thing to do and relax with. And I just feel like that's what makes people who they are a little bit. How you spend your free time by yourself says so much about who you are. Not that that's like the defining moment for you, but it is just, it's so fun to practice self-discovery through making things or learning new things or just trying new things. I remember last year a specific YouTube channel was planning on removing all of their content and put it behind an expensive paywall. It didn't happen because of backlash, But I remember I spent like 8 hours archiving as many videos of theirs as I could because I was so scared of it getting lost. I had something similar to that happen. I'm trying to think specifically what it was. It wasn't a YouTuber, but it was something like that where like someone was trying to put something behind a paywall and I just spent hours like downloading things so that I could have to reference back. I have to go look at it's probably on my external hard drive somewhere, but no, yeah, it's and like I can appreciate like I think Half Moon Joe does that where he does certain streams that he like uploads to his Patreon, but most of his stuff goes on to his YouTube channel. And like if a stream's like going wonky or it's just like a, you know, it turns out like a different thing. I think he usually puts that on like his Patreon or something. And like I am 100% for like supporting creators that deserve it and whose revenue is based on like those views and that interaction and stuff like that. And if there's anyone that I'm like a fan of who does this like full time, but you know, they're getting by, they're not living a lavish lifestyle and, you know, buying expensive houses in the most expensive like tax brackets. It's just average people like you and me that have been able to make a living off of this. I always try and to like, if I have extra money to throw, I'm subscribing to you. I'll, you know, throw money at your Patreon, but I can totally see something like that, especially an expensive paywall. I'm glad that there was enough backlash for people to be like, no, we're not going to support this. Oh my gosh, I'm so stuck on what it was.
Idiosyncrasies didn't
We should
bother
still
you?
be playing the
Now,
game.
as a
Sorry,
doctor
guys.
of medicine, I am not only accustomed to dealing
I got
with the
distracted.
abnormal,
Good
but
conversation.
I find that
Great
I'm
conversations.
actually drawn to it. I, for one, thoroughly enjoyed Bruno's outlandish personality. Although, at the same time, I fear it may have played a role in his demise. You see, he died of a myocardial infarction, most likely caused by age-related
We'll get through this conversation and then I'll
atherosclerosis.
catch up with
Dying of a heart attack
the
is
convo.
all too common for people who are socially isolated, and Bruno Bollet had most certainly become that.
Did they do an autopsy on Dr. Bollet?
No. Given Bruno's advanced age and the absence of any indication of foul play, an autopsy was deemed
100%
unnecessary,
Anya.
and the body was cremated according to Bruno's wishes.
Okay. Yeah, and that's different. This was all of their content that was already free on YouTube. Nope, that's awful. That's so greedy. Especially because, like, people watching your videos on YouTube, I get that it's probably not, like... I have no idea what YouTube payments look like for people who get, like, you know, big viewerships and stuff. I hope it's enough for people to, like, make a living off of if they're able to garner a big enough following, but... still keeping my archive because you should. That's 100% the right thing to do. Yep, good. I'm happy that enough people were pissed about that because that was just greedy. No, you totally could make a media preservation presentation, and it would be useful to a lot of people, and I think more people need to know about it.
Did Dr. Bollet ever say anything to you about owning a crystal skull?
Why, yes. Yes, he did. In fact, he showed it to me once. Said it had magical powers. Said owning it was going to allow him to live forever. I thought it was utter nonsense and told him so. Well, he didn't appreciate that at all. Refused to talk to me for a full 2 weeks.
What'd the skull look like?
It was quite beautiful, actually. Life-size, perfect in form and clarity, like a diamond almost. Tell me, Miss Bess, what do you know about that crystal skull?
This friend of mine, who is also a friend of Henry Bollet, you know, Dr. Bollet's great-nephew. Anyway, while she was visiting Henry, she saw this book in Bruno's library about the legendary crystal skulls and was kind of intrigued and thought that since Henry said that you were pretty much Bruno's only friend, maybe Bruno had said something to you about it, and as it turns out, he had. That's all I know.
I see. Well, much as I'd like to believe that skull holds the key to immortality, I'm afraid Bruno's passing proves it's worthless. Although it would make an attractive paperweight, as I recall. Tell your friend not to give it another thought.
Dr. Bollet's housekeeper says you just happened to walk in just as he was having his heart attack. Is that true?
Indeed it is. I hadn't seen him for a while, so I picked that day to pay him a visit. I walked up to the front door, found it unlocked as usual, opened it, and there he was, lying on the floor in obvious distress. The next thing I know, his housekeeper came running in and started shrieking and carrying on until finally I sent her out of the room so she could summon an ambulance.
Summon's
I
a
could
word
once
that needs to
again
be
hear
used more.
myself think. Then well, let's see. Then I knelt down and saw
Oh my
that
gosh.
he wasn't
This
breathing.
conversation
So
goes
I
on
pulled
forever.
him away from the doorway so I'd have more room to work on him and began chest compressions. I continued until the medics arrived, but nothing they did made a difference either.
Was Dr. Boulay unconscious the whole time?
Yes, he was.
Can you remember anything that might indicate what he was doing by the front door? I mean, had he just come in from a walk? Was he wearing a hat? Was he holding anything? Had he dropped something? An umbrella? Sunglasses?
Wait a minute. Why, yes, he was holding something. A piece of paper. And on the floor next to him was an envelope. He must have collapsed while reading a letter.
Do you know what happened to it?
Now, I know the letter was no longer in Bruno's hand when the paramedics arrived, so perhaps he released the letter when I moved him. And yet, I do not recall seeing it on the floor when they wheeled him out the door. Iggy.
What's icky?
Iggy. Iggy is an iguana
Okay, we're gonna
Bruno
pause after
befriended,
this.
then turned loose in his home. It soon developed the annoying habit of stealing paper and stockpiling it in the vent system.
Okay, I got a question once about what topic I would make a PowerPoint on for PowerPoint night, and my answer was why and how physical media and indoctrination, Yahar matey. I need to organize my thoughts in a way where I just know what my knee-jerk reaction is to that question. I think presentation night, that would be a fun thing to do in Discord. That would be a fun activity night to have in Discord if we want to do that. Or the 2024 fanfic crisis. Just yesterday, I reported another bound copy of Manacled on TikTok Shop. It's ripe and rampant on there. And sometimes I just go on Etsy for fun and I look up my favorite fanfics and I report the people selling bound fanfic. Because that is illegal and our favorite thing will go away if they keep doing that. I know when Second Try happened, people were also so upset, but they didn't remove any content, and their streaming content is free on YouTube later on anyways, just censored because of laws. That's a good way to provide more content and benefits without completely ignoring your community you built from free content, yes. Write that down. No, that's a really fun idea for Discord. I would love to do a presentation night. Oh, what would mine be? Mine might be on I'm just knee-jerk. The first thing I can think of right now, and I think it's just because I've been thinking of Barbie a lot today, or some of the Barbie toys from our childhood, the big sets that you could get. I would love to do, I don't know how I'd make it interesting, but I would love to do a presentation on nostalgic Barbie sets from the 90s and 2000s. I used to have a topic just off the top. What is that? Is that a spider web? Just the biggest floaty just went past. That scared me. Presentation night topic are just special interests. Absolutely. Drop out while watch or entertain. Nope, it would be... That's the top one I can think of right now. I used to have a really good one. I do know if I was ever on Drunk History, I would talk about Thomas Jefferson's sheep that he had at the White House. That is I do have that one down. I would love to be on Drunk History. I don't know if they'd have me, but that would be my story to share. All right. Anyways, my daughter, Drunk History, so that oh, I clicked over. It's such a fun, throw it on in the background show and, go in and out of watching it if you want to. Love that show.
Are you saying an iguana made off with the letter Bruno had been reading?
It would not have been the first time a missing document ended up in Iggy's possession. Renee would periodically call me saying the lizard had absconded with one of Bruno's prescriptions and would I please write her up a replacement. In any case, Bruno once told me he was training Iggy. Said he taught Iggy to retrieve the things it had stolen.
Good to
You
know.
think it's possible that Renee caused Dr. Bolet's death by, say, hoarding the pills from those missing prescriptions and giving them to him all at
The
once?
silly little White
No.
House tour.
Had he died of an overdose of the medications I had prescribed, the manner of his death would have been quite different. But he died of a heart attack. Of that, I am certain. However, I know for a fact that Renee is deeply involved in the practice of hoodoo. And as Bruno's housekeeper, she had ample opportunity to use it against my poor old friend.
Fun fact, done the silly little White House tour. I don't know how silly that is. I think it's fun. I took a nap in our nation's Capitol building in the cafeteria. We were on our class trip there. Never got to go to the White House, though. The closest we got was, like, we were, like, down the street from it, and they just, like, quickly pointed, and they're like, there's the White House. I'm on fanfic binding talk, same. And I could watch binding videos for hours. That is so soothing. That is so soothing to watch. And thankfully, all of them always add in the caption or on screen that it's illegal to buy and sell fanfic, saying that extra loud in case anyone's listening that maybe doesn't know. Yet there's always at least 5 people in the comments like, OMG, how much? Where can I buy one? You can't. Please don't.
You mean hoodoo really works?
Young lady, never, ever underestimate the power of suggestion. If a person believes in something, even on a subconscious level, fantasy can easily become fact. And who knows what rubbish Renee filled Bruno's mind with? Drink
Just
this.
Renee's
don't
biggest
eat that.
hater right here.
This brings good luck. That brings bad. Day in and day out. Even if
I
he
want
said
to put
he didn't
Renee
believe a word of it,
and
who knows how much his subconscious
what's her
was
name
absorbing.
from
He was very old and
Haunted
vulnerable.
Carousel?
So
Niacin.
could
You need
Renee have
niacin.
caused Bruno to have that fatal heart attack? There's
Ingrid.
not a doubt in my
Put Renee and
mind
Ingrid
she
in a room
could
together.
indeed.
I think they'd agree and disagree so heavily with each other. We need a Discord because the yaps are really itching. Okay. We need to do it sooner rather than later, don't we? I have a bunch of editing to do tonight because I would need to submit a deliverable for tomorrow. But maybe that's something like tomorrow night. See. Maybe we'll see. Maybe this weekend I can get into it. You're right though, because there's so many things too where I come across and I was like, oh, I should share this to a Discord if I had one. If I had a chick with Discord. I'm in complete control of that and I need to do it. You're right. You're right. It has to happen sooner rather than later. By the end of this month for sure. Probably in the next 2 weeks. We sat on the floor and I just need to learn the inner workings of Discord a little bit better so I know how to if some, not great people find their way in. We have to have a rule list and stuff like that. So I'll do some searching over the weekend. Sat on the floor in the Capitol building because we'd already walked 20,000 steps. You get it. Anya, I don't know if they do it at Norwegian high schools, but typically your senior year, your last year of high school here, you typically do a senior trip. Not always, but a lot of times. So our school had it where Tanner school was cool. They went to Disney World for theirs and that's it. Ours always had it where half of it, or majority of it had to be spent in Washington, D.C. because there needed to be an educational aspect to it. And in order to save money, you would do so much walking for it. We would just literally walk all over. It was crazy amounts of steps a day. It was 17 to 20,000 steps a day. And yeah, sitting on the floor of the Capitol building because we'd already walked 20,000 steps that day. And we got told we couldn't buy staff and guards because it was considered protesting. Isn't that your right? Don't you have a right to protest though? I mean, that's interesting. I took my nap in the cafeteria in the basement on a bench. And it's one of those things too where you leave at midnight, you get to the airport at 3 a.m. At least for us, you know, get there and like start your day, and like if you didn't sleep on the bus or the plane, well, too bad, because we're hitting the ground running, quite literally. And it was like one of those things where I did not sleep on that trip. Had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. Our second part of the trip was spent in New York City, which was obviously like the most fun part. Such a fun city to visit. When we got off of our like ferry trip around the Statue of Liberty, there was like there was a huge group around, like these guys doing like a dance. Why am I calling it a presentation? Performance. And I was pulled from the crowd to be the person that they did like backflips over. It was pretty cool. I was like, fine, that I'm protesting your inability to allow people to rest their feet, as you should. That's crazy. My best friend Calvin, from high school, he got a t-shirt in New York that said New York fucking City on it. And he wore it to the National Archives, which is like where like Declaration of Independence is and stuff. And he had like a zip up sweatshirt on like this, and like the t-shirt just like open, and it said it. And the security guard did come up to him, and she's like, you need to zip up that sweatshirt. There's children here. And he's like, okay. He's like the nicest, sweetest guy ever. And it was just so funny for him to have that t-shirt. Good times. Look at us getting in trouble with security guards in DC. Beautiful subways though, and I love it because like the subway pictures that you get in Scarlet Hand are like an actual picture of the subway system in DC, which, not shocking, not a hard thing for them to do, but I love that attention to detail. They would agree that niacin is like spiritual holy juice. Anytime I'm like, I think niacin is something that's good for plants. Is that, I always do. Speaking of, if you are a plant girly, I'm trying to get better. I do have a great tip though. I have an English ivy downstairs that sometimes I neglect a little bit too much. If you're eating a banana, take the peel and put it in a glass of water and let it soak for the day. And then like add more water into it and then use that to water your plant. My ivy has never been happier. I think it has niacin in it, but I'm not sure. I remember one time I like looked up and it had like a niacin deficiency, and it's like the only way to get niacin is bone meal. I don't think that was right, but I had no clue where to get bone meal. Mine was an 8th grade trip. Sick. We didn't do the 8th grade trips. I did do my student teaching at a school that did like a European 8th grade trip, and I thought that was super cool, but I couldn't imagine trying to keep like 14-year-olds in line in Europe. I had one in 10th grade where my class went to Sweden and stayed at this escape room establishment for a weekend, so we just ran around and did escape rooms. That's so fun. Man, your schools actually liked you guys. Ours were like, sure, you can have a senior trip, but it has to be educational. And then after that, like, they axed New York and started making them go to Philadelphia, which is fine, history and whatnot, but I'm not a fan of Philadelphia. If you're a Philadelphia sports fan, I'm really sorry. I'm going to say something that's going to hurt your feelings. You're the worst. You guys are the worst. Philadelphia fans are the worst. They have to grease light poles in the city so that people don't climb them, and they do anyways. I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, so there is a rivalry there, and I have a little bit of a bias there, but Philly fans are the worst. DC subway is the first time I saw a rat though, and it was the size of a cat. I still haven't seen a true rat. Their subways are nicer. We rode the subways in New York City, and they all smelled like pee. And the streets are literally full of garbage there. I remember our tour guide having to like brief us on it before we went to New York City. We're just a bunch of rural farm kids in this tiny town in Midwest America. They had to like brief us on things like, you're gonna see things, the people aren't nice there like they are in Minnesota, like if someone runs into you, don't say sorry, because they don't care. But the streets are disgusting, and there will be garbage everywhere, and New York is stinky. I couldn't imagine being there in the summer. I have an English ivy tattooed on my ankle. It's such a cute and hard to kill plant. Great starter plant. I love that for a tattoo idea though. A lot of people put ground eggshell stuff. That's what it is for bone meal, isn't it? That's a good idea. We did an escape room in DC at the Spy Museum. They didn't have a Spy Museum, they didn't have escape room, but we did go to the Spy Museum. And we did also go to the 9/11 memorial, and I felt really weird about them having a gift shop. We did the Holocaust memorial too, and I don't think that they did. They had the, the conscience not to. But it felt a little weird and like, end stage capitalism to exit through the gift shop at the 9/11 memorial. Like, you have to go through it to like get out. Odd. Spire Museum was fun though. We have to save up all the money by ourselves, which I think is like 8 to 9K. So it was class funded. Yep, ours is the same thing too, where they have like fundraiser opportunities for us. You can sell like magazines. I literally have some of the world's finest chocolate. Does that ring a bell for anyone? You would sell world finest chocolate bars to help raise money. You'd sell them for like $1 and you got to keep 50 cents off each one or something. But our trips were funded. I remember like my parents said that they'd pay for part of it, but I did use like some of my waitressing money to pay off the rest of it, and then fundraising and stuff too. There's plenty of opportunities to be able to like earn money for it, so it was like attainable for everyone, no matter the background they were coming from or financial situation. But it was a shit ton of work. We also did a band trip to Chicago I think I was in 10th grade at the time, 10th or 11th grade. All the school trips weren't technically school sanctioned for legal reasons, but all of ours where you have to save money for yourself. They didn't do any fundraisers. I don't like that as much, because it's limiting access to students that it's not their fault what their financial situation is at home, but it just limits that opportunity for them. There was a trip at least once a year that was open for certain grades. I think that's what a lot of bigger schools did. Same with like the school I student taught at. But our little towns, I think it was just like one of those and the community was great about it too. We had to be careful about how many things we fundraised for, because it's a limited resource having such a small community, and we didn't want to crowdfund too much money from them, because that can piss people off. But the only school sanctioned trips were the band choir, and those were fundraiser. And those are like the only ones we did. We worked with like the same travel agent through the entire like senior year. She'd like come at the beginning of the year, say like, here's when this fundraiser is happening, here's when that one's happening. Other than that, not a bad idea to bring X amount of spending money for yourself. You can fundraise extra if you want. Yep, sold baked goods in the cafeteria and recycling bottles. They probably did other things before I switched schools, but that's at least what... Yep, some similar things like that. I just remember ours were mainly the magazines and chocolate bars, and my cousin bought one from a high schooler and gave it to me, and so now I have some of the world's finest chocolate. All right, I think this conversation with...
Thanks for your time.
It's been a pleasure.
Bolé is finally done. Bolé? No. Bruno Bolé. Shoot, what's his name? Dr. Buford. I think I kept calling him Bolé. Gilbert, though.
I can check that off. I can check that
Aw,
off.
talk to Dr. Buford some more. I think he's a little lonely. Okay, we will probably wrap up soon.
Hey, what'll it be?
Obviously have to stop and get some... Are we doing crawfish? Jambalaya? Let's do some
A bowl
gumbo.
of gumbo, please.
You guys,
Don't
tonight,
feel
I'm so
bad.
excited for supper. I can't believe I haven't made these before. I like trying to like master a cuisine before I like move on to another one. And my husband's like, let's start getting into like seafood and Asian cuisine, because I don't have like a good base stock of recipes for Asian cuisine yet. I have some, but like I had to order rice wine vinegar, rice wine. It's called like mirin, I think mirin, to make eel sauce with, because we're doing sushi bowls tonight. I'm doing California roll bowls tonight, and I'm very, very excited. I would love to be able to graduate to making my own sushi eventually. That is, speaking of hobbies, cooking is like one of my, I would consider cooking a hobby. I love cooking. I love trying new things in the kitchen. I think there's limitless possibilities in the kitchen. And I just think it's important to be able to like cook your own meals. So I always like say, hey, get into cooking, people. It's so good. You save so much money. You cook healthier stuff usually. You know what's going into your stuff. But yeah, so we're doing sushi bowls tonight. And we haven't like done that before. I can't believe it too, because like it's just like we're just doing like the rice, not even like sushi rice. rice, avocado, cucumber, imitation crab, which is like snow crab, and Alaskan pollock, I think. And then, oh, eel sauce on top, because eel sauce is my favorite topping on sushi, period. And it's like water and, no, it's sugar, soy sauce, and that Japanese rice wine. So I'll let you guys know. If I had a Discord, I could post it in the Discord later tonight. There's another. I will litter you guys with food creations if I have a Discord. When I have a Discord. Yeah, we do need to do that sooner rather than later. Okay. Hot sauce. Are you guys hot sauce people? I think mine depends, but I feel like Cajun style cooking would be a good thing to get into too. All right. Are we at the end of stream? We definitely are, but I'm just figuring out how I want to end it. Let's get back to Nancy first. Let's talk to him some more.
How may I be of service?
Guess I'll be running along.
Feel free to drop by.
Let's
anytime.
talk to Zeke or not Zeke. This guy.
Sneeze,
Again.
lady. What's going on?
Terrible with names. Not Zeke. I remembered it last stream.
That
Oh
gumbo
well.
stand outside? What do you think? Is it pretty authentic?
Outstanding. Just watch the hot sauce. Whatever's in it gives my stomach instant fits.
I'm taking notes on you, buddy.
In all your journeys through the wonderful world of junk, have you ever come across one of those legendary crystal skulls?
What makes you ask that?
You guys would also love where my mom works. She works with another lady in our small town, and they do like repurposed furniture. It's finding like old junky pieces of furniture that people basically they can get their inventory for almost free or just an incredibly discounted, like it's just shit people want to get rid of. It's barnfuls of old furniture that's just been sitting there untouched for years, and they repurpose them and sell them. And my mom also sells her art there. It's a really cool little shop, but you guys would adore it. It's just like the coolest little pieces of furniture that are reimagined and just like they get a breath of new life
You
in
have so
them.
many other oddities in here. I was just
So
wondering.
fun to shop
No.
at.
I know the legend, of course, and I sure wouldn't mind getting my hands on one of those babies. I mean, I could sell it for a fortune. But no such luck. Funny. I've been thinking about those skulls lately. A lot.
Really? Hey, maybe we got some kind of psychic thing going here. Quick, think of a number between 1 and 10 and I'll try to guess it.
Oh, I just got your
Thinking
message
of a
on
number?
Discord.
Okay,
Anya.
4.
9.
Darn. Guess it
You
was
saw
just
nothing.
a coincidence.
Guess so.
There's a man sitting
No,
at
I
the
think
gumbo
I'll start
stand
it
outside
on
named Gilbert
Sunday.
Do you know him?
We're not close personal friends or anything, but I certainly know
The
of
Discord,
him.
that is, for
Comes
everyone
from one
wondering.
of the wealthiest and most prominent families in New Orleans. And on top of all that, he's
And
a
we can at
doctor.
least like start getting it
Guy's
set up.
gotta
Like
be
I'll,
rolling
you
in
know,
dough. Must
send
be
out an invite
nice,
probably
huh?
just like on here or something.
Guess I'll check this place
Where people
out
can
some
join
more.
if they're like
Sounds
in
like
with
a
us,
plan.
but yep, next week I'm hoping to have it up. I think it's just it has to happen sooner rather than later. I've seen way too much purpose for it just in today's stream. So, nope, I will definitely, if you're okay with it, Anya, put you as like a co-moderator or whatever. I don't know what the terms are in there. And yeah, I'll definitely spend some time this weekend working on it. Okay, where are we going? We're gonna talk to Nancy.
Hello?
Hi, Nance. Okay, here's what's been happening at my end.
I love the fade out when it switches between characters.
And that's pretty much it.
Good work. I'll take it from here. Thanks again.
Good luck. Bye.
No, crack out the whip if there is no Discord by next Wednesday's stream. Because like it's got to happen soon. I've never felt more of a need for it than it's been building. Okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? We did
Did
this.
that. I haven't
Can't
done
do
that.
that. Let's go ask a couple more questions. We're probably going to get off in about
Yes?
10 minutes.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Whatever.
Hello again.
Nice
No
talking
conversations to catch
Fare
up
thee
on.
well.
What do I just need to like organize myself to know what I need to do next? Okay, find the letter. Find out what the deal is with the card I found in the book about the crystal skulls. Haven't done that, but have it written down. Figure out what the deal is with those symbols on the wall in Renee's
check
room.
that off
Haven't
yet.
done that yet. I'm trying to think if that's something we can do now. I'd like to do like, I really want a good puzzle to do in Nancy Drew, honestly. We need to find the same thing that makes us need to know the dog's name. We need to find the thing that makes us need to know. Oh, that's all I can think of. Isn't it,
All done.
Okay, so we got the Cocoa Kringle. Find the key. Makes us need to know the dog's name. I remember what you're talking about. It's just like a figment of my, like, perception right now, if that makes sense. Like, no, isn't there a childhood dog's name that we have to find? Oops, I clicked out, sorry. I was like highlighting to like the paintings. Wait a second. That just clicked for me. It's the thing that we found in the book, isn't it? Okay, we can probably do that before end of stream.
Can't check
Haven't
that
done
off
that. Look
yet.
for anything that might help me. Okay, we did. That's the book. Combination, we did that. Okay, look at all this stuff we're
Check.
tracing I found. We did that.
I haven't done that.
Haven't done that. Okay, so now we can check this off. No. Wood scientist mom. Yes. Dr. Pretavicu. Henry Bollet's mom, of course. Yep, Bruno's dog later. That's what it is. I don't remember her. It's like Charlotte or something like that. I don't know. No. It's Marianne, isn't it? It's Claude and Marianne Bollet. I have it written down. That was not off the top of my head. My memory's not that good. Henry the Nepo baby, who just like shows up here and whines about, oh, my uncle's expensive estate. Oh, I have to sell. No, I do. That is a shitty thing to be left to do, especially for someone that like didn't document things the way he should have. Okay, so it's this piece of paper. And I know it has something to do with, like, the objects people have. So isn't there, like, an umbrella? Goes to the U. Okay. This one should be correct. Dr. Pretavicu and her, like, ghastly-looking husband. His health was not good. He looks like he was about to die soon anyways. Bro is not looking okay. Fan. Do we have an F? Is right here. Do we have a D for dog? We don't, but obviously we have a little pup here. Pup. We do have a P. Monkey, M. Lollipop, L. Axe, A. Banana, B. I'm going to say puppy, hat, and toothbrush. Thank you, Rachel, because Shall I peep? Am I supposed to, like, do something with that yet? Or... Oh, wait. Eye of the Beholder. Okay. And...
Come on, Summer, give me a break here. You never said anything about that. Well, how was I supposed to know? I mean, what am I, telepathic? No, come on, don't get upset. Look, I'll see what...
Hold on, let me text my husband real quick.
What do you mean, something else? You gotta be kidding me, Summer. I don't have that kind of money. No, I meant...
Wrong person.
I don't have it now, but I will, soon, okay? Bye. Oh, man.
One of my favorite conversations. Hold on. Not Summer the Leech. So if Henry's a Nepo baby, she's realized it and she is a gold digger. Okay, I have the Tiger Ass book. I have the Beholder. Okay. So this is the order in which we hit the little, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a little octagon. I am making like the worst stop sign of my life right now. There, I need to like separate out the edges because it's like a circle. It's awful. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8, right? Yep, 8. And that's where we get the key to this. Imagine using a scary ass spider in your backyard. Is that something on the stairs? I swear it's something on the stairs. See it? I think it's just a chip. Okay, we will... let's go get the key first, just because I do like that little puzzle. I think it's cute with the spider. Update on my spider ladybug shower situation. The husk of a corpse from my ladybug was thrown into the bathtub. And that's the end of that story. So ladybug is no more, and the spider lives on. Still don't mind having the spider in there, not gonna lie, but rest in peace, our ladybug friend. The funny thing is Henry doesn't really have his own money and won't until he's finished paying off Bruno's debts, and anything left from the sale of the estate would be his, but I don't know that he'd want to sell the estate by the end of the game, right? Oops, I just like went right past. Where is the spider at? Here it is. God, that thing's awful. That thing is awful. Okay. 1, 2. Wait, what is that? Should I be writing these letters down, actually? I think I should. D. 2 was A. 3. E. 4. B. 5. High C. 6. Wait. Yep, 6. F. 7. G. And 8 is what, low C? Middle C. And look at that. Bro was always crafting around this place. I would never sell this place. This is the coolest. Could you imagine being left a property that has been like booby trapped basically by your relative? Okay. We are going to go right. Which one was it? This one? This is where we are going to save. All right, and I love how fast it is to save. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's stream. I will probably, maybe, see you guys on Saturday. Again, Saturday is just, I have no idea. I have no idea what I want to do yet. I have so many things to think of doing, and I'm very excited about it. So stay tuned. I'll put it on my Instagram story if it's happening. And yeah, that's it for the day. Thank you guys. Yeah, thanks for the great yap. Again, I love our conversations. We have so much fun here. I even I make like a little post-it note of conversation ideas, and I think I only ever get to like half of them. Just in case it gets like slow and I need something to talk about, but rarely do I. So again, thank you guys for joining. I had a ton of fun with you guys. Maybe see you on, wait, we need to go raid. Maybe see you on Saturday. I'll definitely see you back on Wednesday. And I believe Libby Lou should be live. Let's go raid her stream if she is. Yep, she's playing Hogwarts Legacy right now. All right. And here we go. Okay, I will see you guys over there a little bit. I'll probably raid and dash because I got to go, you know, motherhood and all. Husband's going to the gym. Okay. Here we go. All right. See you guys. See you Wednesday for sure. Maybe Saturday. Have a great rest of your week.